Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hi guys, this is podcast 126. It's going to be a completely different podcast from the others because today I'm going to do a reaction video for the debate that we had between John Menard and Charley, or Disruptor, how he likes to be called. And I will see the whole video. And I will do a reaction with you, along with then seeing some aftermath, an argument that I had with him on Twitter, and even a private message, the private messages that we exchanged, and some other things, because he started on posting on a daily level. He was posting on a daily level, but now he posts on a daily level to prove his point. First of all, I would like to give a very big shout out to Jordan West, who was the person that was hosting all of this. And I asked him if I can do a reaction video, and he accepted. And I will put the link or a link below or for his YouTube channel so that you can go and check him. Before we start, I need to clarify some things. First of all, I need to clarify that I have seen this video again. So it's not an initial reaction. Secondly, I do have a clear winner in my head, but I'm not gonna be biased, and I'm gonna say what I believe and the truth that I have. The third thing is that there is no reason for us to make all of this personal and start the personal insults and stuff. Let's talk about Facebook ads, and we can insult each other if you want to with Facebook ads, but not with personal accusations or whatever. Still, we can say our opinion about things. I will tell you that before even the podcast starts, I believe that it was a podcast with a very wrong argument. So let's go here and let's read what we are having. So everything on my end started from this. When I have seen this video, it says this is how it's going to go on Friday. Blue Nails guy, okay. Just taking in circles and avoiding making any direct statements. Jordan getting rage baited and frustrated by the lack of clear answer. Nick just in the back, aura farming and flexing the tats. Sleeveless shirts, maybe shirtless. He's referring to Nick the Yacht because he's doing a lot of tattoos, I guess, right now.
When you test 10 hooks and only 2 pull costs down, you scale those 2. You don't keep forcing the others. That's the whole point of creative iteration.
Leave the ads exactly as they are and just hope the algorithm matures spiritually.
That is not a strategy.
Okay, so this was the thing that I have seen first. I found this hilarious. I really liked it. And to be honest with you, I didn't know that this is what Charles actually preaches, that you have to... I was actually amazed in this debate that he believes that you should not put more creative. You should just let those creatives that are working... all of these people, of course, they are mentioning that in the testing phase, you're just putting creatives on the same campaign. But even like this, they say that you should leave them because if you put more creatives, you're confusing the argument and stuff. We're going to see it on the debate because I just don't get the point of it. So let's remove this one and let's go to this one. This one is going to start from this. And I'm going to start it soon. So let's start first of all with the rules a little bit. Definitions for everyone: six figures day, 100,000 to 1 million per day spent, sustained for more than 7 days. Profitably positive contribution margin after COGS, shipping, payment, and all of that. High volume, 20 net new concepts. Okay, diverse creative variations across. Only way excludes alternative primary levers, media buying structure, offer price, landing pages, all of that. So basically, the concept is this: the only way, and this is what the debate was all about, the only way for you to actually be able to spend 100K per day is with a lot of creatives, and the debate is that Jordan Menard is going to be in the one side saying that you can do it only with many creatives, and we have Charley that is saying that you don't have to do it with many creatives, you can do it with one creative, for example. Okay, now this whole argument and the whole debate is completely wrong. Let me tell you why, and you will understand it later also from the reactions, because Charley is coming and says, prove to me that there is not a single ad account that it cannot do it. And the answer is you cannot prove it. I can prove to you if I have this ad account that it will scale more with multiple creatives, but I cannot prove to you that it cannot go to 100K just with one campaign. So Charley believes that he won the debate anyway, and as he said later, he went to the debate because he would have won anyway because of that. Now, let's go to the debate. First of all, we see, let me open it full and let's start.
Always loved having conversations back and forth. There's a lot of incredible people in the space. Just so everyone knows, we're going live right now on X as well. So we're just going to take a second to do that. Let's do some introductions here first. Jordan Menard, tell us a little bit about who you are, how much money you've spent on Meta, and some of the history that you have over here, just in case people don't know you.
Sure.
By the way, this nice guy thing that Charley puts on the name, Charley's a little bit cringe. I don't know if you understand it or not, but anyway.
Yeah, my name's Jordan. I'm a Christian. I'm a dad. I'm a husband, and I'm a meta ad nerd. Shackelford has watched me go from director of user acquisition for consulting.com to co-founder of Instant Hydration, which is my main thing I do now. And yeah, I'm passionate about digital marketing. I don't know how much I've spent on meta ads. I don't think anybody actually knows.
That's so true. I stopped counting after the 500K, I guess. And I'm just saying 500K plus, but maybe it's even more, who knows. Last year alone, I should have spent between 100 and 150. I'm not saying 150, I'm saying 100 because it's really difficult to actually calculate.
Across all their career, across all the BMs that you're connected to and not, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. The D2C community knows me after my info life, which was, I worked at consulting.com, started my own agency. I worked with Agora Financial, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, Robert Kiyosaki, Tim Sykes, whole bunch.
By the way, these big names tell nothing to me from the perspective that they have already marketing ready and you can spend a lot, but for sure, a lot of respect to Jordan Menard for what he has achieved.
Really big info names. Decided to make the jump to ecom. Worked with brands like Diff Eyewear, Physician's Choice, the #1 probiotic in America, Rise Superfoods, Everyday Dose, and then now I run Instant Hydration. On Twitter, where I really started to get recognized publicly was when I scaled, when we got Rise as a client, they were spending $1 million a month, right? 1 year later, they were doing $1 million a month in top line revenue. One year later, they were doing like 13 million a month. And that was the first time where I really ran all of the ads and directed a 8-figure company to 9 figures. And then he tried to steal all my employees, the founder of Rise. Shout out to Rashad. Hope you're doing well, man. And
by the way, I have worked also with him and Rise, and it wasn't a good experience. And I can totally understand. He was completely toxic and he was trying to control everything. And I'm really happy that Jordan actually got back after all of that because, it was, I'm not gonna say more, but I had the same experience. He didn't try to steal employees and stuff because I don't have any, but it wasn't a good experience working with him.
I thought, how do I get revenge without being a bad person? And I was like, well, let me get his biggest competitor. And I got Everyday Dose, and we did it again. Same thing. Took him from $1 million a month to into the 9 figures, doing.
Very strong proof of concept. If you have done it once and you take the other and you do it again. I have also done it with some clients that I lost. I have some case studies into my YouTube channel with one scaling that I have done to a brand that they decided to go with another agency eventually because they paid a ridiculous amount, like 2,000 for Google and Facebook together per month, something like that. Then I went to their competitor, and guess what happened? I did it again, because it's a little bit of problematic when you live for the money and you forget how much scaling the other person has done to you. On the other hand, we're freelancers, and just because we're freelancers, I also sold my services to their competitor, and it worked really well.
Everything, and still a part of that company, still on the cap table. Love Everyday Dose. Big shout out to Jack, Mike, and Ghost. They just got into Target. They're crushing it. So yeah, that's who I am. That's what I've done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jordan. Great to have you. Charley, give us the 60-second Charley T overview here.
My name's Charley. I run a lot of ads and do a lot of things. Yeah, I've been in the digital marketing space for well over a decade. Back in like 2013, 2014, I had a 7-figure daily budget for specific brands like CBS, Nissan, Levi's.
So this is one of the things that I don't like about Charley, that he's mentioning this as if they were his clients. I will show you later tweets that he's acknowledging that they were part of an agency that he was working for. Even if you're the head of the team over there, you cannot say that these are your clients and you have worked for them. What you can say is that I was in an agency and the agency had this client, so I have been to these accounts, but you cannot present it as if those are your clients, because part of the spend that he's mentioning is also from these clients, or spending 1 million per day, as he said, which is how the discussion evolved on X, and I learned that he was part of an agency. I think he's not hiding it. He mentioned it also on other times.
I've been director of agencies. I've founded them. I've been client side, brand side, SaaS side, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I've been a part of half a dozen 8-figure exits and a couple of 9-figure brands over the last 5 or 6 years. And my big thing is I just try to help people learn from all of the mistakes that I've made. I also agree. I don't think anybody can really understand how much they've spent. Although I saw yesterday, David Herman was on, I think, The Operators or whatever, and it was billed as like, well, he's managed $1 billion in paid media. I'm like, yeah, I stopped counting in like 2018 when it was like.
So Charley is not it doesn't have the most easy personality. Let's call it like this for the internet. A lot of people hate him for the way that he talks. Over here, for no reason, he's just throwing again one, I have seen these other guys saying about it, don't mention names and stuff like this. We're for a debate here. There's no point for you to do that. But I also do it. I also say that I have spent this amount because it proves that I have been around accounts. I don't know if there's any other way to do it efficiently. I also believe what he says, that you cannot count after some point, so you stopped counting. So yeah, just don't throw names to discredit people. It's just because they mention it, because we all do it. We all say how much we spent. We just say plus after some point.
Like 500-600. So who knows? It's probably like at least that. And yeah, it's nice to get to meet you all and be here. Although I've hung out with a couple of you guys a few times, and Shaq and I go back, and we have our own interesting history with stuff. And just I'm excited for this. I think what I'm really looking forward to is the exchange of ideas. And hopefully people walk away with an action playbook of how to think about things better. And I think if you know your tools, you can build better things.
Charley, thanks so much. One of the things I just want to say before I give Shaq his due here is I love that we're actually having this conversation in person.
Yeah.
Twitter sucks in so many ways because there's not this human sort of aspect, right? This human to human, like, Jordan, you're a dad, you've got this whole life around you, and same with you, Charley, and Nick and me, and like, man, we're so much more, and I am so much more proud of the things that I do beyond business than anything, comparatively to that. And here's one thing I wanted to say is like, hey, everyone raise your hands who's made, 7 figures in a year. And I'll bet you every single one of us would raise our hands, right? We've all been successful in different sort of ways, right? So let's all just remember that that we're all really, really lucky. I started in this game in like 2013 when I was selling hoverboards and figured all of this stuff out, and then had a bunch of brands and blah blah blah. And we're all just figuring this stuff out, and we're all humans. So this is really, really great. Nick, I'll just give you 60 seconds here, and then we're gonna get into it, guys.
No, I think it's important to set the scene. Like, I've known both of these men, and Jordan, we've grown up a long.
I think we can move a little bit because they're going to say more things, and we don't care about these kind of things. Then they put the rules.
There's so many ways to do this.
For my arguments, if you think that they are convincing,
Opinions. Like, that's why there are juries. That's why there are people that get to make decisions and vote. And one of the big valuable things about this is that, and then we'll have a great discussion, and we'll continue on, and maybe there'll be another topic with another individual on this, and we go back and forth.
Yeah,
And I think that's really
Nick,
cool.
So just to get an idea, this is going to be a debate. So one is going to talk, the other is going to talk. There's going to be specific phases that they have predefined and all of that, and they know before even the debate starts and everything. I would like a more direct back and forth discussion because it leaves the other person to elude a little bit when they don't have arguments about things. But you will see that this whole debate was having a wrong argument, and the reason is because you cannot prove 100% that thing. But let's go straight to it.
Sorry to interrupt, and thank you so much for the introduction. I feel like not many people know who you are. But yeah, I fully agree with everything you said, except at that last point of like, I think when you're voting, right, it shouldn't be a popularity contest. If you know me, I'm asking you, only vote for my arguments if you think that they are convincing and you think
there's going to be a poll. After that, I'm going to show you the results of who won.
That they are the truth. In order for this to actually be valuable, we have to vote on what arguments are most closely aligned to the truth, as opposed to any, personality, things like that. And then secondly, whoever does not win, that doesn't mean that they're not a good person. This is not a reflection on who they are. We're just attacking ideas, not.
Yeah, totally.
Agree.
I wouldn't say that in the comments right now. They're just kidding.
I'm not even looking.
The comments are off the.
We're less than 10 minutes in, and it's over.
Go watch it on Twitter if you're over there. Let's get into it, guys. I'm going to sort of set the stage here, and then Shaq and I are going to kind of go back and forth. Say that ad spend on Meta profit is yes, absolutely. So scale to 6 figures per day in ad spend on Meta profitably is with a high volume of diverse.
Listen what he's going to say.
Today is resolved. The only way to scale to 6 figures per day in ad spend on Meta profitably is with a high.
And this is the problem of the debate. This is the problem of the debate, that it says the only way. You cannot prove if it's the only way. There can be one ad account somewhere in the world that it's not the only way.
Of diverse creative. We all agreed on that.
Affirming that.
That is the, and we've got an affirm on Shaq. We've got an affirmative on Jordan and on.
No. Shaq is the moderator. I'm in affirmative. Charlie's in negative.
Correct.
Well, we all agreed that.
Well, Shaq also affirmed, so I just want to just put that out there. Yeah, awesome. And that is what
it's
what
a little bit unorganized in the
today.
beginning, but you will see that
take place on
makes
Twitter
sense
within
later.
threads and all sorts of stuff. Profitably, positive contribution margin after COGS, shipping, payment fees, ad spend. Includes discounts, returns, and attribution windows.
He's reading the things that we read earlier.
Angles.
It's going to go pretty smoothly, guys. You're going to make your time. I'm going to time box you guys. I'll start it on my side as soon as you start
So Zach is the person that's going to keep the timing and all of that.
arguments. You have opening statements. Each of you have 3 minutes each. Jordan, since you are pro, you'll lead. Charley, Con, you'll rebuttal majority of the time. Rebuttals will also be about.
Jordan, by the way, is it looks like he's really experienced the debates. I believe that Charley went a little bit, unprepared for this debate, and Jordan is more experienced in the debates. Also, I believe that Charley really believes the things that he's saying. If he doesn't believe them and he's doing it, I don't know. So I will have to believe that he's believing really whatever he says, because I totally disagree with his methods. But he's passionate about it, and let's say that he believes it 100%. He hasn't been prepared for this debate, and I think that because he believes it so much, he thought that maybe it's not needed.
5 minutes each overall. That'll be a Charley, you'll lead the rebuttal. 5, Jordan, you'll be able to reply with 5 minutes after that. And then we'll get into cross-examination. So it'll be 2 rounds overall, 90-second questions, 90-second answers. If I feel like you are rambling a little bit too much, I will do my best to encourage you visually. I won't try to speak over you because I want the concepts to come out. So I will have erratic hand motions in your direction. I think it's appropriate and important. Do your best. Like you guys have a lot of thoughts. I think I need you to be tighter to your words more often than not. I think that you guys can do this. Sometimes you choose not to, but please do so. And then after that, we'll get into the counter rebuttals. And so each of these are time blocked, and I'll make sure that as soon as we begin this, we're almost at the 15-minute intro, which I really was wanting to get quicker through, but it's okay. We'll get right into it. And then at the end of this, towards the back half, we'll have a live poll. Jordan will come back on here and make sure we cross our T's and dotted our I's, and then we'll get ready for some more watch back of content. Any questions, comments, concerns from you 3 gentlemen?
Buttery,
awesome.
Bro. That was smooth.
Awesome. All right, here we go. The only way, again, the resolution, the only way to profitably scale Meta to 6 figures per day is high volume, diverse creative. The pro.
By the way, I also believe the same. I don't believe into the one campaign strategy and all of that.
Affirms, the con negates, and we are.
But I think it should have been the best way, not the only way, because most likely it's not the only way. I have seen everything working and everything failing on Facebook ads. I wouldn't exclude the possibility of the one campaign strategy working in one account. Now, why am I teaching multiple campaigns and all of the things that I teach? Because I have seen it working consistently in more ad accounts. Have I ever seen one campaign strategy working on big budgets? The answer is no, but I don't exclude the possibility of this thing happening.
We're beginning at 12:15 PST. Floor is yours.
All right. Well, I'm here to affirm the resolution. My point tonight is really simple. I don't have anything to sell you, nothing at all. I run a brand. I'm only here because I want to stand up for the truth of how we scale brands. Because I think what you tell people as advice when you're in a position of authority has a moral element to it.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So I also see this thing, and I believe that for people that they have a YouTube channel, they talk on X or wherever, and they have people following, we need to be careful of what we say. For example, you will never see me making videos for self-scaling. Why? Because I don't do it. No, I do it. It's a lot of fun, but it's also gambling. And I cannot teach people gambling with Facebook ads. I'm going to take my own risks with my own money or my own clients. So when we talk publicly, we need to be careful of what we're saying. And this is my main argument with Charley in his public videos, that he is just going and he is talking with a lot of different terms and stuff, and nobody understands anything. It's a 30 minutes video that is just general stuff that prove nothing. He doesn't show accounts, which is what I told him also in our discussions. And I do believe that because of that reason, he's not running ads actually himself. He's just consulting on accounts and all of that, which is not bad, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of work to manage accounts, do content and all the other things that I do. And I get it that it's really annoying. Now, when you're talking to people, you need to be a little bit careful of what you're saying, because there are crazy people. For example, for the crazy method, there are so many people that they're taking the crazy method and they do 5 crazy methods or whatever, which is something that they have never said that they should do. So you have to be careful. You have to talk about different cases. When you're explaining something, you have to say that there are other cases that this can work, for example, and all of that. So we need to be careful when we are public speakers and we express our opinion, because some people are going to lose money if we're not going to explain in the best possible way the things that we're seeing inside their accounts. So one thing that I believe that Charley does is that he doesn't care about this, and he cares about his agenda and what he believes, without him thinking that a lot of the things that he's saying, it's going to hurt people. And the other accounts that they're having, because, for example, you cannot talk about the one campaign strategy when there's another account that nothing is working, and you tell them that they have to work with only one campaign, not multiple campaigns, testing a lot of things at the same time and all of that. So this is one thing that I think that Jordan tries to say here. Also, another thing which I need to mention over here about Nick Theriot. I have seen one video recently that he was talking about the one campaign strategy, and at some point there were just some people, he was saying that, and some people send me messages and they tell me the one campaign strategy is not working. Oh, don't use it then. Stop mocking people, you fucking idiot. Don't treat to people like if they are stupid. If some people are telling you something, just listen to it. Don't mock them just because you think that you hold the only truth. Okay, when you have a public channel and people are writing to you, you're going to listen to them. Okay, I'm not saying if they're telling you something bad, but if they are telling you, okay, this thing is not working for me, say, okay, I understand it's not working for you. This is what is working for me and this is my truth. You can do something else. Don't mock people. Who the fuck are you to start mocking people and start pretending as if you're an expert in stuff? By the way, you mentioned the previous year that you were not even running ads, and you decided this year to run again ads because you have seen your revenue dropping. Okay, so all of this thing of you teaching without running ad accounts brought you to this place that you are mocking people because they told you their opinion about what they have seen in their ad account working or not. So stop doing it because you are embarrassing yourself. Let's continue.
It's ethical. You have an ethical obligation to tell them the truth, which is why it's kind of crazy to me that I'm even here debating this resolution. The format of this debate requires evidence. I'm only going to make 2 arguments. If the negative can't provide evidence for his claims, then his impacts should be weighed far less than arguments backed by real data and operator results.
So Jordan talks from the standpoint that he has seen this. So Charley, he also needs to provide evidence that he has seen it, which I'm sure that he has. But the thing here is this, Jordan, to what you're saying. If you have worked in enough ad accounts, you would know that everything can work and everything can fail. So I understand your passion about it, and you know that if you want to scale to 100K, blah, blah, and this is the only way that you have done it. But do you exclude the possibility that there's going to be one other account that has done it in a different way? I don't, because I have seen crazy stuff with multiple accounts. And this is, guys, where the perception changes when you're managing 3 accounts, 5, 10, 20, or 30. Because over there you're seeing so many things that this completely changes your perception about things.
Contention 1, my first argument, will be that Meta's delivery system is explicitly designed to reward high volume, diverse creative. This isn't my opinion. It's both how their Andromeda retrieval system actually works, but also confirmed in internal documents that they've released.
So, by the way, with the new Andromeda system, basically, and this is something that maybe we can discuss in another podcast, but it was an initial idea that I thought. So when people were doing one creative and they were changing the hook, rearranging the clips and all of that, basically what we were having over there, maybe, I think, I'm not sure, is that Meta was thinking that this creative was completely new. So now what Andromeda update says is that we are going to understand that this is the same creative. So don't be lazy to do rearrangement of clips and the hook and stuff and everything, or the same creative with 5 different hooks and stuff. These things are over. Just try to go for diversification and more creatives, different ones and all of that. So I'm thinking that back in the day, maybe Meta didn't have the computing power that has now with the NVIDIA processors and stuff and the new system, to be able to categorize that this is the same creative. So now that it can actually do that, maybe, and I'm saying maybe, we're going to have a problem with the crazy method also. Because if we do a crazy method and we're going to see that we're using the same creatives and Meta understands that, then we might have a problem. Now, are we going to stop doing crazy method? Only if we see that it's not working on the ad accounts. Because an update is one thing, and working on the ad accounts and what works inside the ad accounts is another thing. Do I care if crazy method dies? No, I don't. Even if we move on and stuff, I don't. But then I'm not going to end up being the person that says, can you prove to me that the crazy method doesn't work in every single ad account in the world? Because there's going to be one account that crazy method is going to work. So, because everything, for example, is going to work there, for instance, just an example. So I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to keep teaching what I see, that what is the thing that I have seen working across multiple accounts. And this is what I do. I just give different things that I have seen working across multiple accounts. And I think that this should have been the debate. What do you see working most of the times across multiple accounts?
And I will provide that evidence when I go through contention 1. My second contention is that operator reality proves it. Another title for contention 2 would be literally everyone I know says this. Across multiple 9-figure CPG brands, profitability at over $100,000 a day requires hundreds of ads per month. It does. And in regards to why I'm here, the last thing I'm going to say is,
I also believe the same thing, by the way. By the way, if you hear any crazy sounds, there is a national celebration here in Greece. So I have F-16s flying above my house as we speak for the parade that's going to happen in some days. So no, don't panic. It's just a dream.
As Bob Marley once said, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
So yeah, a lot of us believe that Charley is actually making a lot of, on his YouTube videos and on X and all of that, he's talking about this and that and that. And it's a lot of general things, salad, as sometimes people like to call it and stuff. I think that this is where Jordan is focusing on here.
Good. With time to spare. Next.
There we go. All right, so I think scaling a brand from 1 to 10 million a month isn't about making better ads. It's about building a better system.
How can you say that's not about making better ads? Ads are the ones that are going to dictate if it's going to scale or not.
Quote Dan Kennedy, whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins the game.
Oh, so this is something that Charley is going to do in this debate. He's not going to quote other accounts. He's going and things that are happening inside, but he's going to start quoting books, as if the results that we're going to have inside our ads manager, they're going to be dictated by the books that we're going to read from Kiyosaki or from Hormozi or from this and that, and not based on what we see inside the ad accounts. So I find this argument completely false, and I don't care about general marketing. It's good to know general marketing, but it doesn't make any sense for us to follow it. For example, we have Eugene Schwartz and the 5 stages of awareness, from the most aware to the non-aware and all of that. And let me tell you that while this is theory, you cannot implement it inside Meta. Why? Because the platform is working in a different way. Why? Because the way that it's working right now, it's taking people from the most aware inside the campaigns of the unaware on the top, even if you exclude. And it's actually doing retargeting to people. And in this case, by the way, you cannot exclude because then you are losing data. But this is another discussion. But even you cannot just have right now 5 different stages in a funnel inside Meta because it's stealing audiences from one stage and another, and you cannot have clear stages right now. So while it's good in theory, the 5 stages of awareness, and we still use it when we create ads for the direction that they're going to have, you cannot have a complete structure like this. So quoting books, when we talk about Facebook ads without understanding how the algorithm is working, and if it's going to be, if you're going to be able to actually do that inside, I think it's wrong. Secondly, Charley is not focusing a lot at all on the ads managers, and he's not talking about the technical things on how the algorithm is working. He's more talking about general financial things, as if he's a CFO, for example, and he's not a Facebook ads expert. So in my opinion, you need to see this kind of numbers, yes, but we need to focus also inside the ads managers because he's just focusing on other factors and other things. I'm actually shocked that he says that the creatives don't matter and you just need to have just one. And let's continue with what he has to say.
The ability to spend more money to acquire a customer is a direct reflection of business model strength. Hermosian's $100 million money models talks extensively about this. And to simplify it,
again, another book, as it matters for the Facebook ads. Its general marketing principles doesn't mean that they always matter.
And any business model is the mechanism of turning CAC into cash flow. And this principle is straight out of Paul Samuelson's book from 1947, The Foundations of Economic Analysis, and he literally won a Nobel Prize for economics in 1970, so I tend to trust what he says. Simply put, the higher the percentage of sales that come from repeat buyers, the cheaper every transaction becomes, which means your allowable cost to acquire new customers goes up.
Keeping notes.
That's what real leverage looks like. And our job is to create more leverage. Since the first sale is the most expensive, the second, third, and so on are the more profitable. So if the goal is to truly rapidly scale beyond the restraint of first order profitability, the order of operations is pretty straightforward. We start at the highest inflection point in the customer journey and work backwards from there so that each move impacts the greatest number of customers. Then we move up the funnel. To start, we increase second purchase rate, the value of more profitable transactions. As little as a 5% lift can increase profits by 25 to 9.
See, that's the problem with Charley. What has all this have to do with different creatives diversification? You know, I just don't get it. I mean, I get what he's trying to do, but I just don't get why he's not going to the point and he's talking for all of the general things, Hormozy and the guy that won the Nobel Prize and all of that. Just be to the point.
95%. And that number comes from Joey Coleman's book, Never Lose a Customer Again, which is validating a Harvard Business Review study from 30 years earlier called Zero Defections. So let's be conservative. Let's call it 50% coming from a 20% repurchase rate. That's roughly a 10% permanent reduction in net blended CPA across the entire business for all channels. We can also increase the AOV to lift the profit of all transactions. We can go to email to turn site traffic into buyers, essentially turning every pop-up into a CAC suppression device. And then, of course, search can turn intents into purchases too. All of these decisions that predictably raise the revenue made from repeat buyers on a consistent basis are based on the traffic you've already acquired, and they reduce CAC and increase cash flow, which
what this has to do with the different creatives?
Funds the ads to drive more traffic. And if the top of this funnel stays consistent, you'll be able to add more budget on a regular basis, regardless of platform attribution. And I'll close with this. The customer journey is rarely one day and one click. And the CMO of Meta in this latest book said specifically that Zuckerberg's version of personalization isn't about one ad. It's about a custom and positive user experience across all touch points, paid and organic. And that's one reason Meta built Andromeda to deal with the spamming of all the ads. So every new ad launches at the bottom of the funnel with zero data, which makes the algebra to create a positive user experience more difficult. So each new ad exponentially increases that difficulty, which results directly in higher CAC and CPMs. So the path from going from 10 million isn't running more ads. It's teaching the system how to acquire better customers with smarter data to scale the volume of opportunities.
I don't believe in that. I think that this is total BS and this is total generalization. If you have different creatives with different angles, you're going to be able to convince more people. End of story, and this is why we do several creatives. You're not going to make your cost of acquisition harder with more creatives.
That your business model has, and that's.
Do you know what I believe? That all the people that they are running the one campaign, even the ones that they have it, if they were running multiple ads, they were going to have better results. And this is my argument.
Exactly what I did with 310 Nutrition to get them from 15 million to 120 months. That's what we did with Under Outfits, again, from 50K a month to $1 million a week. This isn't theory. This is what I've done for the better part of a decade over and over again. It's not how I would do it. It's how I've done it repeatedly.
Close. I'll give you a little bit of.
So I don't know about any successes in the end, because you will see later that he's asking for people to give specific case studies about it, and he doesn't have his own case studies. So I don't know when did this thing happen, but if this thing happened on 2018, 19, 20, 21, okay, maybe. But right now, I don't believe that you can work without multiple creatives and do this kind of things. And I believe this is why he went out in a shout out to ask for more case studies.
Extra love on that one, but keep it a little bit tighter on that, Charlie. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I think my timer started to mute. My bad.
Okay, good. What are we thinking, Jordan?
Let's follow the exact structure that we put out on Twitter. I believe next is rebuttals, correct?
Correct.
So yeah, I'll go first. Well, why don't we let Charlie respond to my intro and then I'll respond to his.
Okay. Charlie, beginning now.
I gotta keep my mic on. Okay, here we go. Timer. Okay, so first, I think we really have to understand what an ad really is, right? Every piece of content, whether it's organic or an ad, is its own web page on the site of Facebook or Instagram. And social media is basically just a Google search results page with content they think you'll like. So for every piece of content, Meta is tracking a load of things. But what's important for this right now is that they put a score on all of that stuff based on how likely somebody is to engage with the content, how likely is somebody to click on a link, and how long they'll stay on their site, and what actions they take when they do. So every new ad you launch starts at 0. Now, when Meta's trying to test a brand new ad, it doesn't just show it to anybody. It wants every ad to have a consistently high score so that users have a consistently good experience. So they show it to the people most likely to engage, click, and act. And inherently, those people are at the bottom of the funnel. The problem is every new ad tested there steals attention and spend from the proven ads that were already working. So the success of every new ad.
So basically, he's saying that if you're going to do new ads and you have a score for the ads that you have, this score is going to get worse because the new ones are going to get attention from the other one. I don't see the logic behind that. If the other creatives are better, if the other creatives are targeting different angles, they're not going to depreciate anything from your winning creative, because your winning creative is going to cause problems to the others. If you have, imagine this, if you have an established ad with a lot of social proof and stuff, it's more difficult for the other ads to come and steal from it. The opposite is going to happen, most likely.
Testing comes at the expense of an older one that was already doing a good job, which makes that previous ad look worse. That's what's often labeled as.
Why do we take as a granted that the new ones are going to steal and not the old one is going to steal? Most likely the old one is going to make the new ones, if they're not good enough, to look awful.
Ad fatigue. Old ads look worse over time according to attribution because new ads steal the sale at the 11th hour.
Which is why you need to refresh your ads. Because if you're having ad fatigue, you're going to have ad fatigue anyway, right? So what are you telling me? That the ad fatigue is going to come faster if you put other creatives? No, they're just saving you because the ad fatigue is happening, and this is why the new ads are taking more attention. If there wasn't any ad fatigue, this winning ad was not going to lose. Unless if there's another which is completely better. But even in the one campaign strategy, I believe that this is what is happening and they consider it a success. A lot of times you will see them telling you that after 5 months of testing a lot of creatives, blah, 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 and all of that, I actually had good results and I was able to find one new winner creative. And I believe that the reason is that because after 5 months, the winner creative that they had got fatigue, and then there was a new one that actually took place because the other one had fatigue to it. So before that, if they were going to run both of them at the same time, maybe it wasn't going to be the same outcome, and the second one wouldn't win, and it would win the first one, the original one, the one that it's the actual winner. So that's what is also a major disagreement with one campaign strategy that they do. I believe that they are burning so many creatives for no reason in just one campaign, just so that they can find the best of the best, while there are other creatives that they could take their own respective budget doing well. Of course, Charley disagrees with that because he thinks that these other creatives are going to steal from that. But this is why we have the daily loop theory, and you can check these kind of things. It doesn't mean that it's always going to happen. It can happen sometimes, but when it happens, you can spot it and you can stop it.
And because all new ads are launched at the bottom of the funnel, the more you launch them, the harder it is for the funnel to grow.
Because into their world, this one creative, it can scale up to that point. If it cannot scale more, find another creative that can scale more. Okay, this is what they're saying. And you're accepting the fact. I don't accept this fact, and I believe that it can scale more with multiple creatives as long as you don't have the daily loop theory. So we do have processes of checking if there is cannibalization and all of the things that he is mentioning, and you can check them, spot them, and avoid them. But you're not just saying, okay, this is the creative that takes me up to this spend, and I can do nothing else. I just have to find a new one. I believe that you can scale more.
Results become less incremental and customer acquisition costs keep climbing. So then folks say, launch more ads, more and more of them faster and faster, just to maintain a funnel that already exists. So you end up spending more time and money working harder and harder to make growth more difficult. And if you actually
time and money is irrelevant if you're scaling and you're making more money.
If you want to make a lot more money, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now, I mean, I hear what you're saying too, and something I want to address is creative diversity, right? And to that point, creative diversity isn't about spamming the machine. Andromeda was built specifically.
It is about spamming the machine. This is why they built it, because everybody was spamming the machine and they wanted to do it. Now, look how you can take things on meta ads and you can twist them. So we can think that Andromeda was built because they want you to run more creatives, and he thinks that Andromeda was built because people are stupid and they were spamming with a lot of creatives. So now Meta is trying to keep up because it doesn't want to. I mean, it's the same thing, but you can take it with two different truths, you know?
Machine launching hundreds of ads a week. It penalizes anyone that does that. That's
no, it doesn't penalize anyone. They never said that.
The literature actually said. And that's what they say. So true creative diversity doesn't mean
they never said that they penalize anyone for many creatives. Come on, let's be serious. They want many creatives. There are a social platform.
You have enough ads to speak to everyone. It just simply means you have enough ads to speak to enough people in enough different ways so that every impression becomes a good experience. That's it. You don't need hundreds of ads to do that. A handful will do, as long as they each do something different and work together. The best way to think about this is like the Olympic rings, right? Like 5 rings all connected. The top 3 rings might be your prospecting ads, the ones that help you find new people. Maybe one is a UGC video that feels personal. One is a testimonial that builds trust. And the other is a demo to show how your products work. And then the 2 rings on the bottom, those are your retargeting ads. These are reminders. They speak to people who already saw your other ads and just need a little nudge, a reason to come back or to overcome some objection, right?
By the way, something that came just to my mind, Hormozy, that he's talking about, when he was selling his book, he fucking did 1 million creatives. If you see his library, it was full of different things and stuff. So I don't know if you can quote him about that.
That's 5 ads. That's it. Not hundreds, not spammy chaos, just a small team where every ad has a role and they all work together to give people a better experience.
I mean, even these 5 ads that he's mentioning, in order for you to find them, if in theory this is going to work and you find them, because I still believe that you don't need 5 and you need 5 plus another 5 plus another 5. But in his mind, let's say that we have the 5. In order for you to find those crazy good 5, you need to test countless creatives. So aren't you spamming the machine also? What are you telling me, that you're going to find them with 1 or 2 creatives that you're going to do because you have an amazing creative director. I don't know.
None of them has to be perfect or even the best. All that matters is for the portfolio of ads to be sustainable, consistent, and good enough to justify increasing the budget. And when you build your account like that, the machine doesn't get confused, it gets smarter. These ads don't fatigue, they improve with more data. And you can spend faster, smarter, and more profitably because Meta actually understands your business. It knows who to show your ads to and in what order. And again, the CMO of Meta, Alex, in his new book, Click Here, talks about Zuck's personalization, right? And so the biggest myth in Facebook advertising is the winning ad. Every advertiser talks about it. The one ad that drops CPA, spikes ROAS, and makes you feel like you cracked the code or whatever. But all those metrics, CPA, ROAS, et cetera, they're based entirely on attribution, not scale. They measure how efficiently you score 1 point, but not how many more points you can put on the scoreboard. Because at the end of the day, there's really only one scoreboard.
But this doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, we're checking also other metrics outside, like MER and all of this kind of stuff, in order for us to know if something is working or not and if we're scaling. And yes, there is this concept that there is one creative which is better than the other. It's a winner creative. So we cannot say that there are no winner creatives, that the funnel is working on its own.
But that matters, the bank account. It's like saying the reason you finished a marathon was because of the cup of water you grabbed at mile 25. Sure, it helped, but it's not the reason you crossed the finish line.
Charlie, let's let Jordan jump in here.
Okay.
Sorry, Shaq, just wanted to jump in there just for a second. I just want to make sure Jordan's got.
Yeah, he's got time. He's good.
He's got time. He's got time.
He's good. Oh, he's good. Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Hey, Mr. West, I got it, dude. I got it.
Dude, I have such a hard time chilling out and letting other people do things. So
I'm sitting here, buddy. No worries.
Okay.
I'm always locked in.
So when most advertisers say this ad's a winner, what they really mean is this ad was shown to somebody who's ready to buy. And that's fine. If it wasn't you, somebody else would have made the sale. And you would have had a little bit less. But that's not scale. When you raise your...
No, that's optimization, but optimization leads you to scaling. You can scale this ad and it can actually optimize better and better and better and show the ad to more relevant people. I don't understand, and this is the problem with Charlie. He's going to go to different places all around the topic, but not inside the topic. And he's now on this. He's on the outskirts of the topic, but he's never direct on the topic, talking about CAC, cash flow circles and this and that and that and that, and never to the point of the discussion.
Budget, your ads reach more people. So a smaller percentage of them are the ones who are ready to buy. So your cost on paper might go up, but your value, your cash flow is what actually matters. So we can close with this. Let's take an example of a steakhouse. After it tip, it might cost you $20 to buy a salad that costs $2 to make. Now that's a sizzling hot profit today. But the steak, if it's really good, that'll keep people coming back. Even if you break even on the first meal, the folks who enjoy it will come back again and again and again. And the marketing costs on that second and third sale are dramatically lower than the first.
It's actually funny because in his example, in the steak, if you have a tomahawk steak, and this will bring some people back. But imagine that there are people that they like also flat iron, ribeye, wagyu. They like also bavette. And they like other kind of meat also. So the more options you have, the more people you will have as repeated customers. So in his example, just doing only one amazing steak is not going to bring as many people as you're going to have if you're having a lot of variety with amazing, or even not so good as the tomahawk one, which is your flagship, and it's the best one that brings a lot of people. But you can have also a good bavette, a good ribeye, and there's going to be people coming to that. So with his example alone, you can understand why it's important to have creative diversification.
The volume of profit on the first sale is always the smallest. So the point here is sell the steak, not the sizzle, because you can try to build a business around making as many people buy the salad once, or get folks who are willing to buy the steak over and over again.
Thank you, Charlie. Jordan, time starts now. Menard, you're muted. 5
Thank
seconds.
you. Sounds good. Okay, so first thing I want to point out is that nothing in Charlie's either opening nor his rebuttal engaged with anything that I was talking about. So I'm going to go through and systematically respond to everything that he said, but I would like to point out that nothing about either of my contentions was addressed in any way, shape, or form. The first thing that Charlie talked about in his rebuttal was that every ad you launch starts at zero. It shows bottom of funnel first, and it steals attention and spend from proven ads that were working. No, this is objectively not true. Proven ads that are working scale. They go out of bottom of funnel to top of funnel, meaning they are reaching new audiences. That is why it's not stealing attention from them.
So yes, for the scaling ones, no for the new ones. The new ones are going to take initially from the bottom of funnel. The scaled ones, they don't need the bottom of funnel anymore because they have scaled to more cold traffic ads. Of course, there's always the targeting happening on cold traffic ads. So basically his argument here is that they're not going to steal attention because anyway, the scaled ad that you have, it's already at the level that it passed the bottom of funnel and it went to the top and trying to find sales there. So the new ads are going to steal only from the bottom of funnel.
By your own argument, that's what has to happen, right? They all start at bottom of funnel and then go top of funnel. So that means everything was BOF, then goes TOF. What that means is your own argument is self-defeating. You talk about how folks say that launch more ads, you spend more time and money working harder and harder to make growth difficult. No, growth gets more expensive. Think of it like a tree. Bottom of funnel, low-hanging fruit. Top of funnel, you have to climb to the very top of the tree. It's more expensive because the algorithm has to do more work. And so you framing it as something that it's like these people shouldn't be making ads because it's a waste of time is ensuring that they do not scale and that they just accept whatever
I agree with that.
results they are currently getting now. You say creative diversity does not equal spamming. Of course it doesn't. I never claim that. You talk about your Olympic rings. I already addressed that. The one thing that you completely miss about this is that creative fatigue will always kill your prospecting ads. Every single person that has ever scaled ads knows that when you scale an ad, eventually it's gonna die. That's why you need to make a bunch more to fill that when it finishes.
So here he's accusing him for the thing that I'm saying, that he's not running an account, so he doesn't have the actual experience inside. He's just consulting.
This argument that Charley makes is 100% about theory. It doesn't have to do with the reality of scaling brands. He says that ads don't fatigue. That is objectively not true. And in contention one, I will prove that is not what Meta says. He talks about Zuck's personalization, and everyone talks about the single ad, and he disqualifies that because it's measured on attribution, not scale. Again, straw man, that's not my argument. It's measured off blended CAC. And ultimately, I run my businesses based on 1 year ship margin LTV. So again, Charley's attacking these straw men without really understanding my argument or my position. And he said, and also he doesn't address it at all. Everyone that's ran ads will have a good whitelister, a good video that explodes. And the whole business scales because of it. And that's what I mean by the one ad. In regards to
That's true. We can see that a lot of times it's because of one product. We can see that it's because it's going to be one creative and all of that. And I have my own theory also about this. I do believe that the pixel is getting really, really trained also on a specific ad and stuff until you find the new one. So yeah, we can all see that it's not like it's scaling with the big budget which is going to be spent. It's going to be spent on a winner and not across the board on all the ads. The other ads are just there to give extra budget and maybe be on the back burner to take over if the winner gets fatigued.
To his rebuttals proper to mine, I have a few things. So in his opening, he went really heavy on build high LTV models. Yes, agreed. I concede that. It has absolutely no argument, no relevance to the resolution. He then goes into increasing second purchase rate. Yes, very important. I concede that. Absolutely no relevance to the resolution.
Which is what I said earlier. He's talking about all the other things except from the main thing for general theories about LTV, about cash flow circles and all of that.
He then says that we can go, increase AOV, go to email, CRM. Once again, of course, do that. All these things are true. It has no relevance to the resolution. Finally, he says each ad increases difficulty exponentially for high LTV. How? As long as Meta doesn't treat them as the same ad, as in they are diverse, that's not true. Furthermore, as you scale, your bottom of funnel audiences are getting bigger. So you need more creative to appropriately serve the entire size of the audience. Meta does not like spamming people with the same ad over and over and over and over. That is why they are pushing so hard for creative diversity. And I'll get into that heavy with my first contention. To everyone watching, I want you to pay attention to the tactics that Charley is using.
Now it starts the attack because Jordan is going to attack him.
He is intentionally skewing the nature of the debate because he knows that truth is on the affirmative side.
The point, Jordan, is that Charley is not doing this only in this debate. This is the way that he's talking always in his videos and stuff. I just have the feeling that he starts from a topic A, goes to topic B, C, D, E, F, D, and then he finishes on topic A. Maybe this is the way that his mind is thinking. And here on the debate, it doesn't help at all because he's not addressing the thing. He's just talking about other general things that are part of it, but not the thing.
And so watch this. This is going to be a thing that he does over and over and over. He'll go down a rabbit hole, cite a bunch of authorities and books without actually showing them and not address.
Well, he can show the books. There's nothing difficult about showing the books. The point is he doesn't show accounts.
The resolution. As the viewers, do not let him do that to you. I can see the rest of my time.
Done. We are moving into.
We can see how Jordan is more experienced debater.
Back and forth conversation, and this is cross-examination, very straightforward. It's 2 rounds. It'll be 90-second questions with 90-second answers. If I believe that there is more clarification needed, I will ask for clarification around the answers for each of the questions.
I also like how serious Shaq is on this.
Based on schedule, this would be first questions because Jordan just finished. First questions go to Charley T. Jordan will have a rebuttal after that. Charley, your time will start 90 seconds whenever you tell me you're ready, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I was unmuted. I think we were both eating some of our time with the unmuting, so I think we're good to go. Yeah.
Got it.
All right, so I think a lot of what's coming out here, first off, as far as addressing things, I think the only validity to that is that what you're looking at is observational data, not scientific proof.
I mean, this is stupid because scientific proof is not coming from inside the ad accounts. They didn't prove these scientific ideas and the marketing ideas inside the ad accounts. They have proven them in general. So yes, we're going to observe what is happening inside the ad accounts because there's no other way for us to know what's working.
It's what you can see, but not what you can prove. And what I presented is what I've built systems around, provable, repeatable, and scalable operations. It's like Galileo.
What do you mean if we see something, we're proving it? What am I doing every day on my YouTube channel? I'm proving it.
Pointing a telescope at the sky, saying the Earth revolves around the sun, reinforcing all the scientific method data from Copernicus like a century earlier. But you presenting saying that, well, everybody knows that's not true. That's like the Pope then putting Galileo on house arrest for heresy.
I think that the problem over here is that Jordan is trying to explain that we all see these kind of things on the ad accounts. This is why he's frustrated, because he believes that, but he doesn't say it openly. Say it to him openly. I said this to Charley. I don't believe you are running ad accounts. That's why we have this gap of communication in between, because you're consulting only and you're not every day on the ad account to see these kind of things. As I said to Charley, you live in a bubble. You don't have actual experience on ad accounts working and actually managing to be able to see this day by day. You're just consulting and seeing a general strategy. And for some businesses, everything is going to work. And that's it. So I think that the problem is that Jordan is not addressing one of the main things here. That Charley is not running ad accounts, in my opinion. He's just consulting on them.
See, even though all he's doing is presenting data-based evidence. Now, I'm showing how the machine works, and I'm citing actual sources, and we can link them.
No, the sources that you're citing are books. You cannot give these as evidence inside, because it's not things that are happening. in my opinion, even things that are coming from Meta is not an actual proof, because we have to see what is working and what is not. Yes, we can see the documentation from Meta to understand where they want to go, but it doesn't mean that it's going to work immediately or it's working right now.
Down below. So my first question is, if the focus on all of this is to launch 1,000 ads and spam the machine, what you're essentially doing is destabilizing the top of the funnel. What I presented is how you scale a business from 10 to 100, which is scaling the cash flow. If you know the best customer and how to monetize that customer journey as effectively as possible, why would you then go try to get as many different people as you possibly can? There are plenty of folks that will respond to good ads. And as far as ad fatigue always happens, like I've spent millions on single post studies. So why are you destabilizing the funnel as a way to scale the actual cash flow? And why do you think ad fatigue actually exists?
Okay. First thing I'll say is, again, this is a straw man. The goal is not to launch thousands of ads. The goal is to acquire the most customers with the highest 1-year ship margin LTV. So I reject the premise there. That's not what I said. I made that very clear what my goals were. Secondly, you say, why am I destabilizing my funnel? You have no evidence of that. Zero. You're just like, it's literally just
in the same way that we have no evidence about Charley saying that he has spent millions and millions in creatives without ad fatigue, which I don't believe either. I find it hard.
Conjecture. You're just saying it to make it true. And until you provide one piece of evidence that shows that, the audience should reject your claims as unsubstantiated. Next question. Is it my question?
This is you. Yeah, you're going to.
So this is starting from Jordan saying that you're saying that it's destabilizing, but give me a proof. You cannot give a proof. You need to have and this was my argument also with Charley. In order for Jordan to prove that he has scaled only because of different creatives and ad account, he needs to do a Netflix series of 365 days of proving it daily, I guess. It's very difficult to prove these kind of things because these are things that we are learning inside their accounts by working years. Okay, so just a print screen or anything won't do. Okay, so this is why the whole argument here is completely wrong, but still it's fun to watch.
Good question. Jordan, you have time. Do you want more of this? You have still 50 seconds.
I'm timing myself, so I just want to make sure that I'm not going over, Shaq. So
No, I'm good. I think if it's my turn to ask a question, I'll go.
Yes, you are starting now.
Okay. Charley, do you have one single piece of real evidence that you plan to show today that shows one account that spends 6 figures per day with just a handful of creatives?
Like, very direct question. Yeah, it's you.
Okay, gotcha. What's my time on this, Shaq?
You can see he doesn't like the question.
90.
Okay. So the short answer is I've presented a lot of evidence around how machine learning works, how the business model works, and how cash flow operates.
This is not the question. The question is, can you show an evidence of another account with what you're claiming? Not numbers.
I think it's about LTV. It's about the ability to acquire cash flow.
Hold on. That's not what I asked. I asked, do you have any evidence that you plan to show?
So he had to interrupt, which is against the rules.
Today that shows a brand that scaled to 6 figures per day with only a handful of creatives.
What you're asking me is, am I going to present out of context data to try to take credit for the work of entire teams to validate your argument based on something that you also have presented no evidence? I've cited examples from economists, from Alex Hermosi.
The books are not proving anything. The books and the other people are not proving anything. The real work is being done on the ad accounts. We're not here in the university of doing lectures and stuff with general theory. So we have to prove our sayings within the ad accounts. It's simple as that.
From Dave Doulgeridis, Sam Ovens, all of them. I've cited Dan Kennedy. I've cited the Harvard Business Review. And all of that isn't enough, and we're
No, it's not enough.
you trying to present an argument with no
It's not enough. Other accounts are enough.
evidence to back up an information of like why the business that works, regardless of you being there, is a path forward. I honestly feel like
She's laughing.
I'm not going to make an argument of how much credit for everybody else's work can I take. I'd rather just tell you how the machine works, how economies work, and then present to you the same argument of show me why the work that you're doing.
How do you know how the machine works? Based on the ads manager or based on documentation? Because if you know it based on documentation, you're completely wrong. And I believe that over here, Charley lost the whole argument in this debate with this kind of behavior, saying that he's not going to show it because of this or that, because he's actually, I believe he doesn't have any account. And then he went asking accounts just to prove his point.
Actually scales cash flow that you can reinvest into stable cash flow cycles.
And now he's talking about cash flow cycles and all of that, which have nothing to do with the multiple creatives and all of that.
Reinvest into your growth. And nothing you've said so far
Time.
actually makes that easier.
West.
Okay. Oh man, that was awesome. Thank you for that.
Okay, this goes into Charley's question. Charley, floor is back to you for another question. Jordan rebutted and then had a question, so it's up to Charley. Tell me when you want to begin, brother.
Yeah, I'll go. So
I don't believe that Charley has an account. This is what the problem is over here, that he can show. But this, again, doesn't prove that this theory cannot work. To his argument that you're having clients that are good and your things are working with multiple creatives, the same thing can happen with the one campaign, okay? If something is working, and it's going to work regardless of the crazy method or something else. I think that we should have been talking here if there's a better way of scaling, not if there's only one way.
Okay.
Presenting an ad account as evidence of work, to me, is ultimately saying that the reason a sale happens is because of an ad, which isn't true. The reason that you can scale a business is because of the efficiency of
They're part of it. It's not 100% because of an ad, but they're part of all of the success.
the attribution at the top of the funnel, which again isn't true. Now, I would love to see an ad account where you can tell me these are the ads that generate the fastest cash flow cycles and the greatest LTV with the most amount of consistency. I would love for you to be able to tell me that these are the things that
I love for you to show me something that you will never be able to spot inside another account, because you are running 3 different platforms for ads and you're having also repeated customers, email marketing and all of that. It's impossible to do what he's asking.
and help reduce my CPMs, improve my estimated action rate, and make me a better business partner to Facebook so I can get better unit economics while I scale. I would love for you to be able to tell me these are the things that give me cash flow cycles. These are the things that suppress blended CPA in an omni-channel way that drives more incrementality. And how can I also improve the gross profit per transaction?
And this is where the problem with Charley is. He's talking as a CFO and he's not talking as a media buyer. He's never mentioning things inside the ads manager. And I believe it's because he's only consulting. He's only consulting, so he has to say the cash flow cycles and all of these kind of things, while I'm going to talk about the settings inside the ads manager, the things that we do, average results, and things like that, which are more technical. Why? Because this is my world. His world is on consulting, so he's going to do this kind of thing of talking about these kind of things, which are general consulting and more of a CFO thing or business consulting things, and not meta-related things. They are part of the meta ads, but they are not the meta ads.
On each one. So my question to you is, if you're going to present out of context screenshots, taking credit for the work of entire teams, can you also answer any of those questions?
Man, this is hilarious. Look, just because you say I'm going to do that doesn't mean I'm going to do that. You can't cite anything of that. You just speak fluently and slander and assume I have bad intentions. It's a very weird trait. Anyway, in regards to your questions of enhancing LTV, once again, Charley, that is the most important thing about a business. And once again, Charley, it has no relevance to the debate. It doesn't matter how high your LTV of a customer is. If you don't get a bunch of new customers, your business is not going to grow. Furthermore, I'm interested in building real assets, i.e. businesses that you can sell for large amounts of money. That is my North Star. The metric that most accomplishes that is 1 year shipped margin LTV. In order for brands to really grow, they have to scale ads. That's it. You also, it has no relevance of LTV, AOV, nothing. You have to scale ads.
Is there a question in that? Is that a rebuttal? What is that?
Yeah, it's a rebuttal. Is it my turn to ask a question?
It would be now, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pass on the question. I just want to say that Charlie's answer to my first question was no, he's not going to present any evidence. And you, as the viewer, should feel like, don't believe your lying eyes and ears, demanding evidence. Just trust him. He's going to cite.
I mean, this is part of the debate, I guess, to try to convince people that you're right and all of that. But to me, that I'm not a debater, I don't like the fact that he's trying to tell to people what to believe or not.
People who say things like, whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer wins. That has no relevance to the resolution. You will notice everything that I am doing is going to the resolution. Why? Because that's the point of this conversation. You'll notice everything that Charlie is doing is attacking me. Why? Because he knows the truth is not on his side.
Come on, he's not attacking you.
Charlie, I haven't thrown one personal attack at you about what you're going to do and, taking credit for other teams and stuff. I'm simply saying you're throwing out red herrings, straw men, and you're attacking them viciously while I am presenting a case about the resolution. You should do more work negating the resolution.
Okay.
What's my time?
Rebuttal.
How much?
90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Start when you're ready. 90.
So to start off with, you also presented no data, although I've cited many sources. Second,
No, Charlie, you didn't sign any sources because this is what Charlie does, and you will see it also on the X. He's saying the same thing repeatedly, as if he wants to prove something by saying it a lot of times. Just because you say something a lot of times, it doesn't prove it. So just because you gave some books, it doesn't prove that this is the way that Facebook ads are working.
I highly disagree. First off, I never said that raising LTV was the path. What I said was acquiring more cash flow cycles was the path. And being able to do so predictably so you can reinvest in the growth of your business is the path. I talked about business model being the way to grow because crazy people like Dan Kennedy, Alex Ramosi, Sam Ovens, Gary Vee say that that's what you should do because, well, it's objectively true. And I do think the ability to control for CAC and for cohort quality is directly impactful on the ability to
Again, he's not speaking about Facebook ads. He's speaking about general economics.
acquire cash flow cycles. I also think that every new ad starting from zero, making it more difficult for the machine to deliver a consistent user experience, is a very clear and direct threat to that. Now, you were nodding your head on the ads starting from zero. So I guess my point to this is, I haven't attacked you at all. I've presented a ton of evidence. I've cited economic facts and how the algorithm works and focused on building a business. And what you haven't done so far is present a single argument as to why.
I mean, it's a little bit of stupid from Charlie to ask for an argument, or an evidence when he hasn't provided any evidence, because that would make sense if he provided evidence and then Jordan doesn't provide evidence. I don't think that we reached also the point of the evidence yet.
Launching as many ads as possible improves the ability and stability and reliability of acquiring cash flow cycles that are the lifeblood of the growth of any business. So I would like to see any evidence at all, because so far we haven't seen any.
Charlie, I don't know if you saw the structure of the debate. We're about to go into the evidence portion. I do have evidence to prepare. In fact, I told you both the things that I've prepared for the evidence. You just continually refuse to engage in that. Citing Dan Kennedy that you should try to have a high CAC is not relevant. I conceded to like 70% of your arguments. Do you understand what that means? It means I granted all of them. It means that 70% of the time that you've been talking, you were talking about stuff that I agree with, which has no bearing to the resolution.
I agree with it.
If we look at the pinned tweet on your Twitter right now, you tell people that the volume of ads you launch is directly and inversely related to net LTV of a brand. So more ads you launch, lower the LTV of the brand, you said. The brand. Provide one piece of evidence for that.
What the fuck? So if you launch more ads, you're going to have lower LTV? No, you're not. If you're launching new ads from the perspective of having different angles and you're going to be able to convince more people, then you're going to have higher LTV. Oh, he's saying that the ads are going to steal the lifetime value of the repeated customers, I guess.
That, please. Number two, account structure is far more powerful than the best ad. Is this 2015? Provide one piece of evidence for that, please. Number three, more ads equals a dumber machine. Once again, provide one piece of evidence.
There is no piece of evidence for that. Everybody says their own experience. You cannot prove it.
Quoting Dan Kennedy about having a high CAC or talking about how you need to increase your LTV and second purchase rate is not relevant to the resolution.
Okay, on that note, we move into evidence. Charley, you have a chance to reply with what Jordan just said before you move into your evidence.
Okay.
If there's no evidence to be shared, we'll go into. Tell me when. Yes, sir.
Is it
Last
90?
one.
I just want to make sure I'm timing myself. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like we're going to hit a bit of a hard place here because you've attacked me for not presenting evidence, although I cited examples.
It's not an attack. I don't think that it's an attack.
You said that nothing that I'm talking
Quotations
about.
are not evidence.
Hold on. I respected your time. The least you can do is keep my name out of your mouth and respect mine. Now, the other thing is that what you haven't done is explain. You've tried to say that building cash flow cycles and adjusting CAC and understanding growth trajectory doesn't matter. It has no bearing on the idea of launching more ads. Now, when I said that more ads equals a dumber machine, objectively, that's true. There's only so much data. You're going to have 100 ads that all have 10 pieces of data, or one ad that has 1,000 pieces of data. The more you segment the data, the more bifurcated the learning is, the more difficult it is to understand what's going on. And the order of that magnitude is massive. If you have 12 ads, there's 497 million different ways that they can be shown to people. If you have 52 ads, that number has 67 commas. The ability for you to say more ads is a better way of creating a stable delivery of an acquisition of a customer that has a predictable cash flow cycle is legitimately counterproductive to all relevant data around machine learning, and the math quite literally is just not on your side. But again, I'm going to try to respect what you have to say with your evidence, but I'd like to see something built around more of an argument based around science and not observational data.
I mean, this infuriates me. How can science is based? I mean, is based on experiments and all of that, not observational data. This is what he's trying to say. But we are observing things on the other account. We cannot prove them 100% on how the algorithm is working, but we're seeing things. Okay, so if you want to prove something 100%, it's impossible because we don't have access to the algorithm. Okay, so in my opinion, this argument is completely wrong. You cannot just say, okay, let's follow whatever Meta says, and because we know how bad this is, the Meta says that you should run traffic ads and then do retargeting. Are you also doing that?
Nice and tight. Moving to the evidence portion. Well done on the timing of this one. Menard, any evidence as well as supporting conversation around that? Your time will start when you're ready to share.
Great. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so I am going to present two main arguments today. The first argument is contention one, that platform architecture mandates creative volume. The A sub point is the interpretation. When we discuss scaling to 6 figures per day, we're talking about sustained profitability, not short-term spikes on brief experiments. We're talking about maintaining efficient CAC while spending 6 figures per day for 8 weeks or more. The key terms here are creative volume, how many distinct assets, diversity, different angles, formats, and personas, and refresh, the cadence of introducing new creative. The B sub point is the thesis. Meta's delivery infrastructure, specifically their Andromeda retrieval system and Advantage Plus.
I don't know if it says anything, but I can understand more when Jordan speaks instead of when Charley speaks. When Charley speaks, I feel like I cannot focus to what he says. When Jordan speaks, I can focus. We speak the same language.
Campaigns is architecturally.
Maybe because Charley is talking about these general terms, which I don't care about. I think they are important, but I don't care about in terms of Facebook ads. Maybe in another discussion I would care about, but not when we talk about Facebook ads, necessarily to talk only about these things and not about the other accounts.
Designed to optimize performance with high volume of diverse creative inputs. This is not a theory, it's published platform guidance from Meta themselves. My first piece of evidence that I would like to introduce to the debate is the Create to Perform deck that Meta just released to their partners, which Charley, saying that he's a Meta partner, should know this. I'm sure he's already seen it, right? Can you guys see this and everything looks good?
Good. Keep going. You have 6 minutes.
This is who it comes from. The plan today is building your creative machine. The next one is creative strategies to reach new audiences and creative testing solutions.
We know that Meta is saying that we should put a lot of creatives. They always said that, even for posting.
It talks about how targeting works, moving from automated to manual, or other way around. This slide is really interesting. What is Creative Machine and how does it power down funnel performance? Number one, creative diversification, visually diverse assets built to reach new audiences. Number two, wait, what? Creative volume, more assets and ads manager to feed the demands of delivery. Goal, minimum 20 assets in an ASC. Creative refresh, bring.
Imagine that they put 10. 20 is a little bit of an overkill, but I would put 10 easily. And another proof that Meta wants a lot of creatives is that the fact that they are actually having so many creatives published on the ASC. You could do as 150, I don't remember the number. On the other hand, Charley can come and say that, yeah, but Meta is limiting you because per page you can have X amount of ads. It's a little bit of gray area, but here we have documentation from Meta saying that they want creative volume.
New assets to platform to keep the campaigns what? Healthy. Goal, low fatigue. What does that goal mean? Higher volume of creative decreases fatigue, according to Meta. Let's keep going. Creative diversification. Sounds like Charley already conceded this, so we'll just go to creative volume. Like I've said multiple times, Meta's Andromeda is a retrieval system designed to improve results for advertisers with a high volume of diverse.
So if they fix it, this is the direction they want to take.
First assets, right here. Volume is more important than ever. This is the biggest piece of evidence that's been brought today. You can't scale budgets without scaling volume. And if we're being honest, the debate is over. But there's more.
To me, it's not over because just because Meta says it doesn't prove anything. In my life, I have seen a lot of things coming from Meta that are not true. You have to take them into consideration based on where they want to take the platform to, but nothing more.
New assets are key to maintaining efficiency, hence the profitable part of the resolution and why I am affirming it with evidence from Meta themselves. And it talks about how new creative is necessary for tapping into new audiences. Iterating on the same inputs will take you very far. Just kidding. It will only take you so far. Meta CPAs are rising, struggling to scale spend efficiently, and chasing the same people around the bottom of the funnel. Keyword right here, more ads.
I think that one thing that would solve here a little bit of the situation is talking about different angles. Nobody talked about different angles, and just people think different creatives. Okay, but different creatives with with a mindset behind, okay? Don't just do the same thing all over again, because then it's not going to work. When you're going to do different creatives and the diversification comes in place here, it has to be different angles.
No way around it. Even if we agree, more LTV, more everything, Meta tells us very clearly more ads. Personas that perform, they talk about the high volume that you need to make all of these. And they make it very, very clear that without volume, it is impossible. It is impossible. So my C sub point are the links to the resolution. Meta explicitly states creative volume is key to create effectiveness. Their Andromeda system is designed to improve results for advertisers with high volume of diverse assets. More inputs equals better retrieval optimization, which not only affirms the resolution, fulfills my obligation as the affirmative in this debate, but it also immediately points
I feel like Jordan has done 1 million debates.
out that Charley's pinned tweet on his profile is factually wrong. Link 2, minimum thresholds. Meta recommends minimum 20 assets in ASC. Why? Because you can't scale budgets without scaling volume. Link 3, fatigue acceleration. Meta explicitly states ads are fatiguing faster than ever. They recommend a bi-weekly refresh. Why not every day? Without constant new...
Look at Zach. Something is happening with Zach. I think he's watching the chat.
Delivery collapses into
Something is happening
and
there.
rising CPAs. Finally, we get to subpoint D, the impacts. Why just this contention alone wins the debate. If the platform
Something is happening there. They're typing
architecture itself requires high volume of diverse creative, then the resolution stands on technical grounds alone. The negative must either 1, contradict Meta's own published guidance, 2, argue that Meta
He's writing himself, he's laughing.
is wrong about how their system works, which is absurd. Or 3, what I think he will do is concede that creative volume is necessary, but claim it's not the only way, which forces him to provide an alternative that works at sustained 100K per day scale. And last thing I will say is, until he shows real evidence of that, he has not shown anything. One other thing real quick while I have you. 2 pieces of evidence I would like to submit as well is 2 different accounts that I'm running at 6 figures per day. Now, I didn't show any of the data. You will have no idea who this is, but allow me to share. This is my screen, and boom, right here, we can see on this screenshot, clear as day, last 30 days, 3.5 million in spend with 9,900. Yeah. Time?
Zoom in. No, zoom in. You have a minute.
Yeah. 9,933 ads. Okay. And I can tell you right now, I'm a co-founder of a brand. I'm spending my own money. You think this isn't even my account, by the way. I could show you another account. I could show you a few more spending 100K a day. You know why? Because I act.
My question is why you didn't do it? Why you didn't go all in to this debate to show him this and this and this and this and this and this and this account? And because then Charley used this and he said that he didn't show his own account. It's not his own account, so maybe he doesn't know how it's scaled, blah, blah. To me, because I know that a lot of campaigns and a lot of creatives are working, I believe that this print screen. I have also my own.
I actually do. And I don't want to spend all of that money on creative. I do it because we have to. Same with everyone else, but I'll get into that on contention too.
Done. 60 minutes, 30 seconds. Charley, when you're ready.
Am I doing a rebuttal to that or presenting my argument?
You have the time to do either within that. Ideally, you spend it on, you can spend it on whichever you want.
Yeah. All right, here's my thing here. Okay. There we go. So, love the deck. It's not designed for people doing $1 million to get to 10. The target audience is really important. Now, let's get to some other things. Also, I'm not showing the ad account you showed us has no.
What is he saying? The deck of Meta is not designed for that. How do you know?
Inflection of your behavior to make any of that happen. You have good clients. Awesome.
The same thing can happen with you, Charley. We can say that the one campaign says that you have an ad account because you have good clients and everything is working there. Come on.
Now, before Disruptor School existed, what I learned about real scale comes from one example in particular, 310 Nutrition. We went from 0 to 15 million in 5 years. Then they hired me. We went from 15 to
Which is from the past, not now.
100 million in 20 months, simply by focusing on 3 specific levers: cash flow acquisition, transaction volume, and gross profit.
Again, the same thing. We're not talking about this and this and this. We're going to talk about everything else except from the fact that we can scale with multiple creators.
Per transaction. These 3 levers suppressed CPA, raised our allowable CPA, and grew the daily ad spend from 3,500 to well over 35,000, and some days peaking well over 200,000. Now, this was well before the Disruptor group, back when Facebook groups were wild, and that's how I know Ben from True Classic, and where, you know, I was posting screenshots in groups every day, and I think Shaq was in those things too. I got kicked out of a lot of those. You know, there was a lot of heat in that spot, but eventually enough people started listening, and we started figuring this stuff out, and Robert Rahill pressured me to build my own community. But let's get into my goal here, which is pushing more truth. Now,
by the way, he's having a community in Skool. My friend Michael Diaz has one also, and it's bigger than his. And Michael Diaz is on the game. I have been a mentor of Michael, and he's doing amazing with his own accounts right now. If you want a very good community, you can go to his. I will put the link on the description.
My boss at 310 Nutrition, Marina Randolph, the vice president of Got the Ranker, was a fucking gangster. She used to spend $100 million a year on TV for brands like Proactive and Ginsu. And she taught me one thing that was absolutely game changer for me. Attribution is bullshit. The goal isn't to take as much credit for the possibility of the results. The goal is to be able to make more sales happen. That's when I stopped optimizing for dashboards and started optimizing for cash flow cycles. The number one growth lever is what
I don't disagree that attribution is set. I think that you need to see other numbers in order for you to see if you're scaling profitably and if Meta is scaling your profits just spending more. I don't disagree to that. But I just think that you can do this work within the Ads Manager along with an Excel worksheet, which is having all the data on a daily level of what the company's actual numbers are.
I call the revenue floor. How much money comes in from returning customers each day? When I started, it was 3 to 5.
The problem that I don't have here is that the attribution is stealing sales. I'm okay with that because I believe that this is more data that's being used for optimization.
By the end, it was 40 to 70,000. Nothing in that ad account addressed anything of what we're talking about here. And we were hitting $100,000.
How can it address it? You know, you have to do a video of 2 years of scaling this account to address all of these things. I mean, you see, this is the point and the problem of the internet. You can just do a YouTube channel and you can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, when they're going to call you to prove it, it's going to be extremely difficult. Even me that I'm showing ad accounts, I cannot prove 100% that this is the only way, or I'm just saying that, yes, everything can work. This is the way that I see it. See if it's going to work for you, and that's all. And the reason that I'm doing this is because this is what I believe that is happening. You cannot prove 100% that this is the only thing that is going to work or not. So it's very easy for someone to show a print screen of something that he succeeded. And first of all, I think that it's cheap from the end of Charley saying that, okay, you have good clients. You have to, Charley acknowledge, yes, in this ad account it worked. In my ad account, something else is working. It's simple as that. And the second thing is that over here saying that he cannot prove to me that this has improved it. No, he cannot prove it to you, and nobody can. You need a whole Netflix series to prove the argument that you're making here. Prove this to me. It needs a whole documentary on Netflix.
On Shopify by lunch, and at that point I had literally nothing left to do. The whole account was run on automated rules with a few core business principles and a handful of ads. Our main cash flow device was a $9 starter kit and had a 30% repurchase rate with an LTV around $100. We also had a $19, a $39, $49 kits too before I cut them. Now, all of those other offers had the same second purchase rate and LTV, but a higher CAC. So why not just focus on the thing that gets me the most cash flow cycles? Again, I'm trying to show how to get from 10 to 100. We gave the machine one job: convert $9 buyers who buy again.
He's telling a story that it's not relevant. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
That's when I also learned about pixel integrity. The machine does what you teach it, nothing more, nothing less. It's a machine learning algorithm, right? So we also built custom conversion events for every primary SKU instead of letting any purchase muddy the waters. Now, from her infomercial days, we also understood the concept of, but wait, there's more. And that's where we invented the rebuttal upsell. Again, tactics to get to 100, not just taking credit for the work that's already been done. Now, if somebody said no to the $9 offer, we hit them with a buy two, get one free for $136. It was higher than $100 LTV, and it worked. People bought it again and again. That one move matured cash flow and LTV in the first transaction and positioned us to a better deal. Our bag was $68. Our competitors were $50, but with the buy two, get one free, our unit cost per serving beat everybody. So we had a better price, a better product, a lower price, and higher volume. We rotated between these two offers, the $9 trip wire for cash flow and the bundle for profit, to understand what our business objectives were as things change. In spring, we ran the tripwire offer to build a funnel. And after Christmas in Q5, we ran the bundles for aspirational buyers. Again, tactics. The 2-week period after Christmas, by the way, Q5 is when people buy themselves more often than anywhere else. By cycling these offers, we were able to keep cash flow steady and growth predictable. Sure, our CAC rose in summer, but it didn't matter because those retention buyers were maturing through cash flow cycles. So our blended GPT and volume of transactions never
boring, Charlie. These things are boring, man. Boring. And you do it all the time in your videos and stuff. I cannot watch your videos anymore because of this. You're just yapping all the time.
Kept rising. The LTV of that business did go from like 100 to 7, and on peak days we were spending well over $200,000. And under Outfit we ran the same playbook, different product, and I've posted all of these things in public, and I was doing this in real time. We found there the Comfort Chafing Bra had the highest purchase rate. A woman who bought one was likely to buy 2.5 more times with an LTV maybe $90 for him hammering the LTV. So we made a buy 3, get 1 free offer, instant lift. 6 months later, because you're again hammering on the LTV, not cash flow, that LTV went from 100 to 5 to 1,000, right? So because the goal was never the first sale, it was maturing LTV as fast as we can and buying as many cash flow cycles as we could, so we had a higher revenue floor to invest in the growth of our business. We also ran catalog ads on all of that, and we don't really have a lot of time to get into that. But the wins that I have at 310 and the hundreds of folks in the MBA program and my brand accelerator program and the businesses that I've run really come down to those 3 fundamentals. Cash flow acquisition, finding the offer that funds growth, cost per transaction suppression to increase the volume of transactions to keep your...
You do understand that he's talking for something completely different. It has nothing to do with the argument here and running multiple ads.
Blended CPA down and gross profit per transaction amplification to keep your AOV high so you can afford to spend more money to acquire the customers. And of course, measuring the shape of the curve against every other channel to prove and amplify incremental lift, which again, nothing you've talked about has anything to do with incremental lift, which is really important. Now, when it comes to the ads...
Because it's not the argument here. Incremental lift is another thing. We're not discussing how the ads are influencing your data.
For PI analysis, can simply see which ads are prospecting, which ones are retargeting. We can apply this scientific method to creative testing, always making sure that all we're trying to do is make the weakest link stronger. That way we never spam the account with dozens or hundreds of ads. We never tank the estimated action rate, and we can always measure the impact of every single ad on the bank account, which is something your structure is made impossible. If you can't do that, you don't actually know the value of any of the work that you're doing. We just let the best ads get better and better. That way we can always spend more. Operationally, the business improved its allowable CAC. And inside the ad account, we use mature data assets to scale successfully. And that's why specific ads in that account might spend millions. And these aren't new ideas. These are just economic fundamentals applied to business here. So these are the things that are important. I'd love to hear you address anything that actually has to deal with growing a business from 10 to 100, not just how you operate the clients that you got.
You have a minute to spare. Do you want the minute?
Sure. My number one thing here is built around traffic consistency, right? If your traffic stays consistent, the funnel and the cash flow cycle and the customer journey you have will compound. Your business model will compound that and your money multiplies. The real story behind scale isn't better ads. It's a better business model. And the more ads you launch, they are all dumber. They have less data. The machine is has less information.
That's not true.
On how to serve those. That is, I don't know how you're arguing against that point, but showing a
We're arguing because we're seeing consistently working on other accounts.
deck of how a business that's starting out can get better has no relevance on what we're talking about here. The actual conversation is how to get a business from 10 to 100. So I'm giving tactics. You're just saying, how can I look busy to make growth more difficult and citing one deck that
No, dude, we're not doing that. We're not trying to look like we're busy. We're doing it because it's working. This is what you're not getting. You're talking about theory. I will tell my final opinion later.
to do with the conversation today. So again, I'm presenting evidence with real world results. And so far,
No, you're not presenting any evidence.
all you've done is not do any of that.
Jordan, you have 4 minutes to reply to this, and then after that, we'll move into the vote.
4 minutes to reply to this is going to be tough. I'm trying to figure out what actual arguments were made there.
None.
Okay, let's start off with you saying that the deck isn't designed for 1 million to 10 million. This deck was released to internal Facebook partners in groups around the disruptor level, which by requirement means they're at scale. So that's just not true, and you have no evidence of that. There's a lot of ad hominems about me trying to take credit for a screenshot that I showed of an ad account that was at 100K a day and had 9,000 ads. I'm not trying to take credit. Big shout out to all the team members, all the creative partners, the founders, the CRO team, the data guys. All those people contributed to make this happen. I'm citing a real world example of right now of an ad account at 6 figures per day with thousands of ads. You say I haven't shown any evidence. I have shown evidence. You haven't responded to any of the evidence. And I think we all know why.
I mean, it's not any strong evidence, as Charlie says and stuff, but still, to me, that I have seen it happening like this, I understand it as an evidence. Charlie, that lives in another world, not doing this, he doesn't see this as an evidence.
And Charlie, if you think that
in the same way that we're going to be biased against him showing, for example, 2 campaigns spending millions, for example.
Everyone doesn't see what you're doing right now, I want you to know, man, that's not true. Like, everyone sees it. Everyone sees that you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, talk fast, and throw non sequiturs and ad hominem attacks in
I mean, it's a little bit personal, but it's also true.
there. And it doesn't have to be that way, bro. We could have a real good conversation where we can engage with the substance of the other person's discussions. And I just don't understand why you're refusing to do that. You talk about the main cash flow device of a low front end. That's nonsense. What does that have to do with the resolution? Nothing. You said nothing that I said showed incremental lift. What? Nothing. You haven't even showed anything. You showed zero data. It's like, why don't you show some data before you ask me to prove further about what I've shown? And you said we just let the best ads get better and better, that was your big thrust of the argument. Okay, you need to cite a source that says we should trust you over Meta, who said that creative fatigues. So
I don't like this argument because a lot of times I do things differently from Meta, but I have also proof on why am I doing them on other accounts and with videos.
So you need to provide a real piece of evidence why you are more trustworthy than Meta. And you should really think about how this debate is being framed based off what you're saying, because I don't think it's going the way you think it's going. Finally, you said that every new ad, how much time do I have left?
I also believe that Charlie wasn't prepared at all for this debate, maybe because in his ego, he thought that he doesn't need to be prepared. And we will see in a little bit, because this one ends, we will see in a little bit the vote and all of that, and we will go down the whole Twitter thing and what happened there, and then we'll take it from there.
Minute and 15.
Yeah, okay. Once again, growth gets more expensive. Think of it like the tree, okay? Low-hanging fruit, easy for the algo to pick. At the top of the branch, very hard for the algo to pick. It's more labor. That's why the cost is higher. It's not, this idea of launching more ads is inversely related to LTV. I will say, Charlie, you have zero evidence of that. And what you think is evidence by citing random people without showing what they actually said is not evidence. In no world does that meet the standard for evidence. And now you're not debating me, dude. You're debating Meta. It's you versus Meta. And there is nothing that you said that was true about that deck. Nothing. Also, wait till we get to my second argument, but I'll cede the rest of my time.
30 seconds done. Okay. Second argument. We're already at an hour. We're literally at an hour right now. Jordan, this is Jordan, Charley, and JW. I think we're going to go into final closing statements. Like, there's no way we're going to keep this going past an hour.
Yeah, because I can see that both of them are bored at this point. Not Jordan. Jordan is on steroids, but I think that Charley is bored. I think that Charley, while he's trying to go on a second debate right now, if he could go back in time, he wouldn't go to this debate.
For sake of people's time and effort and energy and attention. Both of you made both statements on both sides. I think you guys have final 1 minute statements. Charley, you will have the first to do a reply, and then Jordan will have right after that. Understood? Charley, when you're ready, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the premise of this argument was how to get from 10 to 100. And then it was framed around how do we validate the idea of launching more ads. What I said was the way you get from 10 to 100 million is by amplifying a better business model. I don't think any operator that's legitimately pushing 8 or 9 figures would argue that the acquisition of cash flow is the most important thing.
So remember this, because later on his argument with me on Twitter, he's gonna say that Jordan lost because he didn't provide an evidence that this is the only way. So this is Charley twisting now, because over here on the debate, you're saying that on this debate, I'm saying that this is the best way. Jordan says that this is the best way. And then, like a small child, in my opinion, you're trying to make this as if I won, because he didn't, there's always going to be another ad account that can work with one campaign strategy.
What I've presented, and I will link to all of the stuff below, it would take hours to go through all this evidence, line item by line item. But most importantly to me, what has not been made in any way evident.
Again, you cannot present books as evidence when we talk about Facebook ads.
Is the impact on the acquisition of cash flow and the stability of customer journeys.
What Charley is trying to say here is that if you're fixing things within the business, for example, you fix your AOV. Okay, let's say that you have $50 AOV and you have 1 ROAS and you're not profitable. If you make it 100, you will have 2 ROAS. Okay, we know all of these kind of things, but fixing the business numbers is something which is extra. Okay, we're talking about something that's working already. How can you scale it?
And the ability for a brand to reinvest in their growth in a predictable way because you're launching more ads. And to counter that, we've both agreed that new ads start from 0. So the higher volume of new ads you have, essentially, the more you're investing in dumber things.
No, you're not. No, you're not investing in dumber things. It's like you're saying that I have a hook inside the lake, I'm fishing, so I'm not going to throw other hooks inside the lake because they're dumb hooks. And they're not going to catch a fish because I already have a fish hooked in one of my hooks. This is what you're saying, that, okay, I just have one hook fish over there, I'm reeling it in and I'm not going to throw other hooks.
You spot on in a minute. Jordan, final reply.
Yeah, so, my final reply would be pretty simple, right? I actually showed real evidence. The audience is not as stupid as Charley is framing them to be. They all know that. He's just trying to talk past that.
This is something that I also have. I feel like sometimes when Charley is speaking, he's thinking that he's smarter than anyone else and everybody else is stupid. And you can feel this in his arguments after this, and I'm going to show you one case.
That fact, again, he cannot address any of the stuff that I've shown. There are non sequiturs, like fully. I agree that you should use other things to scale ads, but I want to go back to what I said at the very beginning. He's going to use this tactic of obfuscation. He's going to confuse you in order to win the debate. And if we look here, we all know that that's not what the resolution was. The resolution, which we all started with, right, was right here. We changed it. Yeah, the resolution was very simple. It was about that you cannot scale meta ads profitably to 6 figures per day unless you have a bunch of creative. I showed Meta's own documents that prove that and back me up. I also provided my own accounts that I'm actually in backing that up. You've provided neither. You've not said why we should trust you more than we should trust Meta. You talk about cash flow, that comes at scale. When you buy high MRR customers with ads, that's where it comes from. This is the last thing I'm going to say, Charlie. It's very obvious that you are trying to use rhetoric in order to dissuade people from believing the hard road
And this is the point where Charley is going to take it personally.
of making a bunch of ads and just trust you and buy your course. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be that way.
Jordan. I'm gonna give Charlie. I'm gonna let Charlie reply to that. You went over, Charlie. I'm gonna give you another 40 seconds, dude. Sorry.
Yeah. Showing a screenshot of an ad account with no actual evidence of business economics isn't evidence of anything. If you want to scale from
If he was going to show you an Excel worksheet with the numbers, would you believe it still? The answer is no. He can fabricate it. It's very difficult.
10 to 100, my whole supposition was that more ads went there, and I proved multiple paths to get there and gave tactics to do it. As far as a personal attack
He gave theory, bro, not tactics.
around my interests, all I'm trying to do is show people that working harder to make the machine dumber and then asking it to do more work is counterproductive. And I'm showing evidence of how I've gotten there in spite of not doing the thing that gets in my way.
You are not showing evidence. Stop saying that you're showing evidence because you're quoting some books. In all of your videos, you're not showing any ad accounts, and this is something that you need to change. You need to start showing ad accounts, and you need to start showing day-to-day work on these kind of things in order for you to have evidence. That's the reason that I created my channel. Nobody was showing ad accounts. Get some access to ad accounts and start working on ad accounts instead of just teaching. Okay, and this is the end of the debate.
Can you get a poll up on here?
And they do the poll and all of that.
Yes, I
Let me show you the results of that a second. Okay, so we're here on the poll, and we can see that John actually won with 84%, 346 votes, nothing crazy. I would have voted also for Jordan and not for Charley, but more because I can understand him. We speak the same language and stuff, so I can understand. Now, if we talk about the basis of this debate is completely wrong because nobody can prove anything 100%. And this is the argument that Charley later made, in my opinion, a little bit childish, in order for him to just say that he didn't won, you know, all of that. And I had an argument with him on the social media. Before we go to that, I would like to explain that Charley is not a saint. Okay, so Charley has done a lot of things in the internet, like having a little bit of cockiness and a little bit of toupee and a little bit of speaking as if everyone is stupid and all of that. And I believe that he got a lot of hate in these days. By the way, I don't want to see anything on the comments which is going to be an attack to his hair, nails or whatever. Attack his ideas only, don't attack personalities. The same way that you shouldn't attack me because I'm fat, for example. You should attack me for the things that I say about the Facebook ads if you believe that I'm wrong. Here we're not debating about the people and their preferences, we are debating only about Facebook ads. He can do whatever he wants. But I need to say one thing here. Trying to prove things, because, for example, Charley, I have seen your Skool advertisement, and you're saying that, hey, yeah, I'm not doing any consulting calls because people are asking me for consulting calls, and even if they give me 5K, I don't go and all of that. This is cockiness, okay? So you're going to have people that are going to come after you saying that. When you're saying, I have a house here and there, I'm doing very well for myself, nobody fucking cares. You can have your houses and stuff. This proves nothing about your abilities on Facebook ads. So, Nick, also, don't mention your fucking Lambo and all of that. Do Facebook ads and show things with ad accounts. There is no point for people to know how much money you make. There is no point for people, unless if it's business related. For example, you can say, I was working with this ad account and we had an exit. Perfect, do that. Don't say that I have an apartment in New York and LA. Good for you, well done. Let's not, we are in 2025, the guru style of flexing and stuff still works, sadly. But have you ever seen me, for example, posting my trips abroad? If my car, well, nobody knows what's my car. And it doesn't matter, okay? For me to show this kind of things to convince people that I'm good, it's not what I would like to be and what I would like to do. Okay, and okay, Nick is a young person, I get it, he's coming from another generation, but from you, Charlie, I'm not expecting this kind of behavior to convince people. And I don't know if you have good or bad intentions about it, I just feel that it's cheap, and yes, it's going to bring you hate for this reason, because there is no point flexing money to people. Just go and talk about Facebook ads, there is no point about flexing. Do I think that you're flexing a lot? No, you're not flexing a lot, but I think that you're saying things just to impress. Like, I'm not taking 5K because it's a waste of my time. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? What the fuck are you talking about? If you take 5K for 1 hour of your time, it's a waste of time. No, it's not. What are you doing all day? Because I do believe that you're not managing ad accounts, and this is my major issue with you. Except from the fact that I cannot watch your videos because they are going from one topic to the other and you're just speaking general stuff without focusing on the ad account and the settings and all of that, which is what I like about Facebook ad. I think that you're not managing accounts, and I think that it's obvious to me in the way that you are speaking, because there are a lot of things that you were going to notice if you were going to manage Facebook ad accounts, and this is something that I told you also in our personal discussion that I'm going to show in a little bit. So we have this poll over here. He says, one Charlie has been like, yeah, here's a few accounts at library links that are doing this. And we have here Jordan West says that, yeah, I need to follow up with him why he didn't show any other accounts and stuff. And I think that, yeah, he says, I explained 2 ways to do it without more volume. He didn't prove more volume is why the business got there. I mean, it's a little bit of crazy that he says that, all of that. He believes that he has proven it. I mean, there are people liking all of this drama and everything. And I have started a discussion with him because I think after the debate, he just posted something which actually made me crazy. Let me show you. Oh, before we go to that, let's talk a little bit about the YouTube and something that I want to show you about that Charlie is not a saint, okay? So right now you might see this, but you will see that he's not the saint that you think he is. And let me show you, for example, in this video, I will go here. Let me put it here. So this is Michael Diaz. Go to his YouTube channel. I think you will love the content, and his Skool group is going to be on the description. You can see here that we're having him coming and actually attacking in a way that I don't like. He says, I invented the strategy about 6 years ago, the one campaign strategy. Happy to make it make sense for ya. This is cockiness. You go to the channel of the other person and you're just talking as if the other person is stupid and is not understanding it. If you don't understand this, Charlie, and you're talking to people like this, you're going to get hate, okay? And you're going to get hate because I'm going to go now in one of your videos and we're going to see that half of the comments are bad, half of the comments are going to be good for you because of course you have your own audience. It says also here, I love the pushbacks here and we can debunk these issues pretty simple. If you do the same as you did on the debate, just talking general nonsense, in my opinion, without proving anything, then the point is that you're not going to prove anything, but you think that you're proving while you're not proving. Let's have some fun. This thing again. And it says, yeah, my answer is here. Debunk what? The fact that we see it not working across accounts. How many accounts do you manage? Which is my problem again with Charley. Also, don't talk like you're a mastermind and that all around you are stupid and you will school us. We also run ads and we have clients for years. I don't know from where you take all this confidence. We even say in our videos that for some ad accounts it can work. As you can see, I'm not changing my positions. I'm stable on my positions. We share our truth here, not theoretical stuff. Working with multiple campaigns means you work with multiple angles to different groups of people. Optimization on campaigns, average results, cannibalization to be spotted, cost caps, and much more to your one post note strategy. That's exactly what you try to do here with your comment. A strategy for inexperienced people and lazy people that want to believe that this will work with them. Don't talk like this around professionals who do this for years. You're embarrassing yourself. Another person, the ego wrapped up in this comment is beyond. If you don't see this, Charley, other people see it. And they see that you're having a very big ego. And when you talk, you should talk with more respect, especially with people that are running multiple ad accounts. Your post strategy isn't the only strategy and does not work for every account. You could also have approached the space where smart people discuss and learn things from each other respectfully, but no, you had to come in with a narcissist, self-centered, and absolutely unhelpful comment. I think your views would have actually been appreciated and could have created a very interesting and constructive discussion if you weren't condescending, pardon my French, as fuck. Another one, this is Jonathan, he's a friend of mine. Your comment was less insightful than your videos and the bar was quite low to begin with. Not sure if this is your persona to try and get views or whether you're actually like this as a person, but regardless, better stay in your echo chamber or people telling you people telling you how great you are, because outside of it, most of us have results that prove that most of the stuff you say is BS. So you can see here that we have that. Let's go in one of his in his YouTube videos. So we have the new Andromeda thing that everybody made a video. I made a podcast about it. And you will see here, Charley, what I'm saying, that other people are saying it. You have to work on it. Okay, so it says here, bro, the ability you have to say nothing is unbelievable. Yes, I watched this video. It's a video of 13 minutes of you saying nothing. Or you are a very big mastermind that nobody can understand. This is a 13-minute word salad that boils down to make good ads. Okay, so basically make the best quality ads we can. So nothing has changed. You can still produce. Yeah, how do you optimize second sales? Man, love the energy. This one is positive. Can you please show us an example, like a practical case study where Andromeda is working better compared to the other model? Thank you. Focusing on repeat customers. Okay. Great breakdown. Another positive. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who is put off by the vague overhyping moralizing. I mean, I just want to know concretely what works differently now and why, not a manifesto about how this update is teaching performance marketeers a much needed lesson or something, haha. So you're getting this kind of mixed messages here and there, and of course you have your fan base. Don't get me wrong. Let's see what people said on the video that you made about this. Okay. Let's see this one. Props to both of them and the organizers for giving us this gold great content. I'm 100% with you, Charley. So we have one guy. You are the real deal because you have the real sense of how business scale, not by mindlessly stacking more ads, but identifying the problem and solve it. I also see the valid point of not sharing the screenshot as other gurus. Wow, we reached to the point that sharing screenshots is bad, I guess. Okay, so you're just believing him no matter what. Not wanting to steal the credit for others by sharing the screenshot and saying it was all me. We never say when we share a screenshot or the other accounts that it was all us. We never do that. Feels like Zorat has a lot of knowledge to offer on debate procedure. Feels like Charley has a lot to offer on running ads. Wow. Okay. But I guess this is your fan base. It wasn't like this on Twitter. For sure, Jordan is very good on debate. Let's see. Watched the debate twice. Honestly, disappointed in Charley. With your experience in Facebook ad space, I expected examples or at least some data to support your points. Instead, I felt like a lecture, not a debate. Jordan has his flaws, brought something to show. You didn't respond to key points or challenge him directly. This wasn't the place to teach. It was a chance to defend your views against a serious peer, and didn't happen. Also, calling out his professionalism while using obscenities yourself didn't help your case. Just felt like a missed opportunity around. What did you reply? Fair enough. I would have loved to have been effective in the call for you. 2 notes. First, I told Jordan that I would not be showing an ad account because it either showed the how or profitable nature of the business, and I didn't want to violate the privacy of people I work with. Come on, he can hide it. By the way, he's showing ad accounts now. I believe he doesn't have one because he doesn't run ads. That was the biggest difference between his attempt to have this combo in public and the previous efforts over the last few years when he bailed. I didn't know about that. I chose to remain educational when it became clear that Jordan focused on me as a person. Don't do this, Charley, and make it personal. It has nothing to do with personal and why? Because he said about your course. We all want to sell our courses. By the way, 50% is up on the course right now. Go buy it. Not presenting evidence that he was able to. Perhaps that was a mistake. I love Charlie's explanations. Thank you for sharing. Great and interesting. Okay, the other dude was to hit it from the beginning. Fanboy of Charley. Wow, we have a fanboy here. Regardless on whose side you are on, I think the debate revealed a lot about this guy's characters. One is, we don't care about characters, man. Shut the fuck up. Charley, I love you like I'm always saying, and you're my mentor on Meta, but you lost the debate. You should present as real businesses where your method works better and with more scale, and those who has creative volume. When you do that, you're gonna overcome the debate and show us that you're the real deal. I'm with Charley on this. You can't beat having the business fundamentals on lock. I suspected that Charley was just a theorist. I'm saying it. I'm not suspecting it. Maybe he used to get some results back in the day. I'm saying it. I'm not suggesting it. But now he's just selling his business and his strategy, which completely falls apart in practice. I do agree. I don't know Jordan, but I'm definitely subscribing to him now. His real practical things that actually work in Ads Manager. Let's see. To be fair, the screenshot B said was not his business, and he did later share in DMs that creative volume is not why the account got to that level. These are the same questions. These are the same answers that he's giving again and again. Wow. I was already saving for Facebook ads MBA, but will pause this as I'm doubting Charlie's legitimacy. He's so weird about not showing an ad account. Same thing that I am actually saying. Okay, so his answer to this one is I told Jordan ahead of time that I wasn't going to violate anybody's privacy or NDA. It really reminds me of back in the day when we didn't have accounts to show that we were saying that we had an NDA. It reminds me of that. But I guess this is what everybody does when they cannot show ad accounts. Please share screenshots here in your community. Charley didn't show an account spending 6 figures with only a batch of ads because there is none. That's it, discussion over. There could be. Dude has a point, show us some case studies. We both should. He later said the ad account he shared wasn't his and specified that volume of creative was not how they got to that place. Just do it on a separate video. Honestly, I'm questioning your legitimacy. Please explain, blah, blah, and all of that. Charley wins this game. Jordan wins short-term play. Charley meta strategy and winning approach is unmatched. I don't know which are these people and what kind of spend they have. But we see for sure that we have 50-50 over here, okay? We see some people that are accepting that Charles has won, some people accept that Jordan, but most of the people just say that show us something, which is also my main argument over here, because I'm not saying that there can be any account that doesn't have results with the one campaign strategy. I'm not saying that. Also, I'm saying that if you talk shit, sometimes people are going to talk back in this way. If you're pretending that you're smarter than the others, if you're just throwing general terms without explaining or showing at accounts, this is what's going to happen. I'm having, in all of my 4 years on YouTube, I'm having 3 or 4 negative comments, and here, Charlie, I'm saying that in every single one of your videos, you're having negative and stuff. This is something that should make you think, because a lot of times people that they are on the media, they're just saying that, yeah, this is normal, and stuff. If you're seeing a 50-50% ratio, no, it's not normal. Something means that it's happening, that you're doing or whatever. And again, I'm not talking about your personal appearance and stuff. I'm talking about only Facebook ads and the things that you do. So now that we have established here what happened on YouTube, we're going to go back to X and see what actually happened there. So over here, we have a little bit of aftermath and stuff. In my opinion, neither Charles or Jordan won or lose, because the debate was completely wrong. I'm in the side of Jordan for the things that he is saying. I also did send a private message to him, acknowledging all of his things that he has done and stuff, and how much I appreciated the debate. And I had some arguments with Charlie on X about things. We're going to see this, and for last, I'm going to leave the private messages that I have with Charlie, which proves also that we should not hate each other. You will see at the end the messages that we had. So here we have Justin Brook, 20 years doing ads and at some of the highest levels. I can 100% confidently say that more creative absolutely does not equal better results. He's careful of what he's saying. He's not says 100% blah blah. Has been watching this debate unfold from afar. What many are forgetting is that they might be falling to confirmation bias, because most advertisers today use feed-based ad networks, Meta, YouTube, TikTok. It feels like more creative is the only way possible to scale. We're talking about Meta ads over here. We're not talking about in general. Please don't take the conversation to other places. This is fundamentally and mathematically untrue. Scaling only happens because you can afford to pay more per customer than it costs to acquire that customer. Completely different approach to what he says, because over here we're talking about scaling while we're trying to maintain the same results, not necessarily scaling and increasing the cost per acquisition. This is not creative dependent unless you primarily use feed-based ad network, which requires more and more creative, or its users will riot from seeing the same ad too much. They literally complain in the comments about it. However, as someone who has literally had his campaign shut down by Marissa Mayer, former CEO of Yahoo, for seeing the same ad too much, this debate is bullhui. I've done as much as 400k per day for Agora with 3 to 5 ads. I've done 10,000 plus leads a day with literally the same single ad for months at a time. Sure, we tested a lot of things because we weren't idiots and we always want to win more. However, there are campaigns and specifically whole ad networks where creative volume is not necessarily necessary to scale. Obviously here he's talking about previous years. You cannot say just a mathematical problem requires art to be solved, but I digress. Back to my corner playing with my little AI headsets that everyone is sleeping on. Someone says prove it, he says I already did. A little bit of debate about this. Let me see. I respect the post, but here's the thing. Saying creative diversity is needed to scale isn't mutually exclusive with a few ads dominant for X period of time. How did you develop the ad or few ads that spend this much? This is the main argument of the other side that says that even if you have one ad, then basically what you are doing is testing a lot of ads in order for you to reach there, okay? So over here, let's see what he's answering. In debate culture, what you just did is called moving the goalpost. However, that being said, my favorite word is 3 ads in 5 ad sets. Typically, we don't need more than 2-3 rounds of this, so that's about 9 different ads. Can hardly call 9 creatives creative volume. No, you cannot. Now, if you're telling us that you were a mastermind, yes. If you tell us that you were running ads before iOS and you're talking right now after iOS about this, then sit in your corner and play with your AI agents because you don't know what you're talking about. After iOS, the situation is not as easy as it used to be in the past. But you guys exist in a different ecosystem today. You guys live in a time where it's possible with tools and AI to just create creative and test your way into the answer, because creative was harder and more expensive to create 5 years ago. 5 years ago, though, it was easier to do ads and have results also. Would start with extensive research so that it was possible to nail it with 2-5 different creatives. Okay, my argument here is done with this because I love this and so much great information, important context here, excellent put, well throughout and respectfully presented. In my opinion, this whole post loses complete validation out from the point that it was done 5 years ago. So there's no point of discussing what was happening 5 years ago and what is happening now. So the CT, the disruptor, really wants a second debate. The only way I will agree to that is if he can prove that his methodology actually works to get an account to 6 figures per day in spend profitably. He refuses, but keeps asking for a debate. Just to be super clear, there's 0% chance of a second debate with Charley unless he can actually provide evidence listed above. So over here, we are having the situation that Jordan says that if you come again to the debate without any evidence, there's no point of making this debate, basically. And then he says he's desperately trying to find evidence he doesn't have, which is again my point against Charley, that he doesn't manage accounts, he just consults. And he says, if you watch this and you're willing to send me ad account screenshots to counter Jordan claims, you know my mail. It's insane to pull the evidence for evidence. Still, if he can find from them, he can prove his point. But anyway, if you made the claim that he doesn't manage accounts, he had to prove it, which is another thing. That's it with this one. Let's go to the next things. This one I found funny from Jake. What Charley says when he logs into the ads manager. I feel like it looks like this, you know, overanalyzing all of these kind of things and talking about all these other metrics and stuff. Let's go to the next one. So this is what Charley is trying to do now, is trying to put more info about the one campaign strategy and for other people. So this is a founder-led brand, founded in 2021, and I've been in and out of this ad account since 2023. So you don't manage it, you consult it. In 2023, they hit their first figure, 7 years. They currently run about 25% profit after OPEX, 35 ads with an impression over 1. The top ad shows an amount spent of 4.1 million in September, up by 5%. This also shows that the previous month spend was over 100K per day. We have one ad account structure over here, which let me see something. So we do see on this one that we are actually having the 4 million spent, 900K. The change is this. Okay, we have another account, only 35 ads. I still see spend on the others over here, which means that there was testing done. And I believe that the reason is that they have tested all of this, which Jordan says it here. It says, this is awesome. And they have spent 4.1 million, 135K per day on one ad. And you're saying that they only ran 35 ads. They didn't test thousands in order to get to the 35. And in my opinion, this is what happened here. And this is the main argument. I'm saying here, answer to him in the same way he replies. Prove to me that it wouldn't scale more with multiple ads and more campaigns, because this is what Charles did with me on the comments. He said, prove to me that there is not a single ad account that it cannot have this one. And over here, he's proving that there is one. So basically, he's proving his point that there is accounts that they can spend this amount of money. Then Jordan says that they ended up to this point by testing a lot of creatives, which is another thing, which I'm telling you, the debate is completely wrong. How's the performance of this ad over time? He finds ad die after 4-7 days at scale. Their effectiveness just goes to thrash, but we're also in super competitive space. I find that performance isn't really even knowable until week 2 or 3. The first few days of performance is what looks like at the bottom of the funnel, which is where all new ads are launched. The more ads you launch and the faster you do it, the harder it is for anything to rise above the noise. I don't believe in that. Can you share how many new ads have been uploaded in the account in the past 52 weeks? I think if the number is less than 1040, that pretty definitely proves your point, and that you do not need to test volume of creatives. Volume defines as 20 ads per week. If the number is greater than 1040 in the past 52 weeks, is there a 12-week period where less than 240 ads were uploaded? I think that would be pretty definitely prove your point as well. I can tell you the volume of post IDs tested for conversion campaigns was less than 100. The number of 3 to 2 ads was less than 25. And let me see the replies here. And the number of other operational ads for other things, market research, DPA, variations, boosted IG posts was more than 100 and less than 500. That's over the past year. It says, yes, beautiful. Thanks for the context. Am I correct that this brand is very good at organic content or has a well-known founder? My other guess would be that they have a truly proprietary product, which is pretty tough to do these days. So again, it's Charley saying that. We have no proof with things, but let's say that we believe him. I never said that it's impossible to have an account operating like this. What I'm saying always in my videos is that everything can work everywhere, but I do believe that my ways are better for most of the accounts, and I do believe that even in this account they would have scaled more, which is my point over here. Let's go to the next one. The next one is a new thing that he has posted. I think he posted today. It says, this is one of our 3 clients. So these people have 3 clients, which doesn't prove a lot of credibility. This is the middle one in spend. 3 clients that they show. Okay, because it's not clear over here. Maybe. How is it 3 clients? Anyway, maybe these are many print screens and he shows only one. 635 of these ads are an engagement campaign promoting Instagram posts from white label creator partners and run with 50 each, following what he taught in the Crashing Meta with a low budget course on YouTube. It also works at top-notch scale and dropped CPMs by over 30%. My argument here is this. These people are clueless, okay? Because they're talking that this thing has helped them drop the CPM without comparing the CPM of sales with engagement ads. I mean, we're talking about total idiots, okay? So say here, these people are clueless. Why don't you confront them when they say this kind of nonsense? Of course, CPM will drop with engagement ads. Well, we'd love to see another live, but this time with Disruptor and his budget sharing ad accounts. I know that this guy will be more than happy to attend. I wonder if Jordan would ever be willing to actually share his own. He claims he's doing, we have an attack here. He claims he's doing this himself, but he shows someone else. But I suspect now that he's just taking loose left and right after embarrassing himself. He'll likely never show his face again. Wow, we have a very big escalation over here. Okay, let's see what will happen with this one. And now we'll go to the final part, which is me and him discussing about things. Over here, I posted after because he posted a comment that says, whoever wants to study, this is a link for this book, and I said, Haha, typical Charley. Comment as if everyone is stupid and they need to study more. I mean, it doesn't get more delusional than that. Says which comment? I said the comment you did after the debate with links to books. I link my citation. That's proper debate. That's a lot better than screenshotting someone else's account. I don't know why she's so fixated with this someone else's account. It's like Charley. Do you have to show your own account? Because if you're talking about Skool, in Skool you don't have many. I think you have less than 200. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. And as far as I know from Michael, which he's running ads, it's not like a big spend. You can do this by spending 10, 20K per month. It's not so difficult. So at least Jordan has his own multi-million company and running ads. Do you have, I'm even debating if you have clients to show, not even if you have your own. I don't know why you keep saying that it's not his own. It's proving still his point that you can scale with this way. Which is what Jordan did, blah, blah. This is why you ask for other people's screenshots to prove your point, because you have none. At least he has clients to show with this kind of spend. Jordan showed someone else's work and then took credit for it without showing the process. After insulting me, then he takes it to the personal, making himself victim, which I told him. I merely asked the audience after the debate if anyone would be willing to, after seeing the debate where they said no before, I have presented multiple communications to the moderator as evidence of them saying yes, and others who watched showed Jordan their work as well. The only thing Jordan actually accomplished was showing that he has access to another account with that much spent. That's the only point he actually proved. The rest was conjecture and insults. I think that Charley here is trying to make this look bad, while it was bad for himself, I believe. I told you again and again that the debate was completely wrong in the premises of it and the thing that they were trying to prove. But other than that, Charley, don't try to make it as if you destroyed him, because you didn't. And your lack of showing at least any other account, it's actually the big problem over here. Because you could have just done the same, just show one other account. But I guess you don't have, and now you're asking from other people, and now we will never know because you can present these other accounts as if there are other accounts that you're working on, so it doesn't matter anymore. Dude, you showed nothing, at least he showed this and meta documentation. Please don't play the victim here, making it personal. He just mentioned that we all see you on the internet, talk only theory salad with a bunch of terms, pretending you're smarter than anyone else. Did he show that more ads is how that brand got to 100K a day? Which is the thing that I told you earlier, that you can say that it went from another way and he's using it. The same thing we can say about your ad accounts, that they have tested multiple products and then they stayed with only one campaign, for example, okay? Or creatives. Simply yes or no. And you, Charley, simply yes or no. Can you prove it that they haven't done that? Because the answer to say yes or no is just to give you a whole Netflix series of 365 days of doing it so that you can be convinced. There's no other way. Did he show that they were spending less and that more ads is why they were spending that much now? Yes, because there was 999 ads, which how did he do it with only one? Are you serious on now, or are you trying to find a batch of even more strange arguments? What do you want him to do? A Netflix series of 1 year on how he has done it? What did you show instead? Not even one screenshot. He showed that having that many ads is why the business could afford 100K per day, which in my opinion, it's a cheap argument because to me, as a person who is running in the same way Facebook ads, yes, this is what he's proving with this. To you, that you're not running it, it's not proving anything. I think that's not accurate at all. And yes, he needed to show cause and effect, but let's say it. Did he prove it was only way a business could afford? And this is the point. If you remember earlier, I told you, what did he said inside the podcast? Now he's changing it to whatever is convenient for him. He says, did he prove it was the only way a business could afford a 100K a day marketing budget? Yes or no? So if you knew from the beginning that this was a bad argument, you shouldn't have been to the podcast, Charley. No, dude, they spend 100K per day losing. You're totally right. They have unlimited funding and they did all of that to prove a point to you. Let's be serious here. About the last, at least he proved it with his way. The question is why, the question is, did you prove your way? All I heard was general theory. That wasn't an answer to my question, and he's going to try now to force me to say yes or no, of course, so that he can say that we agree and that you said yes now. And because in my opinion, no, he didn't prove it 100%. That's the truth. Okay. But all he cares about is to say that I won. Okay. And nothing else. He's missing the whole point, as he was missing the whole point in the debate, actually addressing the subject. Then he says that wasn't an answer to my question. I'll say it again more directly so that we can stay on topic. And no, man, all you want to do is just go for a yes or no, because this is what really matters for you. Okay. Did he prove that he was able by running blah, blah, and this again, yes or no? No, Charlie, he didn't bring a 365 days video proving it. Also, don't talk to me as if I don't understand trying to dictate a single yes or no when you want from Jordan a whole series of documentation to prove what we all see on accounts, and you don't see because you don't run accounts, which is, he says, and also, yes, I do run accounts. I doubt it, Charlie, that you run accounts. And also, yes, I have watched your YouTube content where you quote me as the person that has shown you how to run accounts. I mean, that's fucking crazy. The fact, Charlie, that you're saying that I'm following your teachings, to me, it's insulting. To me, it's insulting. And maybe you have posted something in the past, saying something maybe in a cocky way, again, I don't know, to meet in a call, I don't remember. But dude, I don't know from where you're coming from and why you're saying that I'm following your things. I'm doing completely different things. And also, yes, I have commented on your videos, thanking you for sharing how do they work. I'm curious why you're so enthusiastic about taking the side of someone who you agree it lost. I believe that nobody won, to be honest with you, Charlie. You will say it a lot of times more to believe it that you won, but it's fine. And more importantly, what is motivating you so much to argue against the person who you quote when trying to teach other people how to do the job a better way? I mean, delusional. I never said that I quoted you. I never quoted you for any of your things. I'm against the 3-2. I believe it was a bullshit theory. I don't like the one campaign method. I was always running more creatives on the dynamic ads and never 3-2. All of these are things that I never used, and I don't believe in them. And I also believe that you're not running ad accounts, as I said. Have I ever said that I have learned ads from you? I would be homeless if I did. I said that, and yes, I believe I would have lost all of my clients if I did the things that you teach. I said that you are only theory and you never show accounts. I have never said that, lol. Please don't insult me. You say that he lost. I say that he won. He didn't show more ads is how to scale to 100K. He just said he lost. And yes, you have quoted me on your channel, oddly enough. I guess you didn't even realize. What the fuck, man? How can I not realize if I quoted you? Who the fuck are you, God? Did they say, oh my God, so I quoted you without understanding that I quoted? This is your problem, Charlie. Your ego and your narcissism is bringing all of that to you. And because you took so much hate on the last days, I don't wanna make it bigger, okay? But you have to understand that not everybody around you is stupid, and we do understand things and we do run ad accounts, and in my opinion, you're not. I quoted you to say that you don't show accounts, that your methods don't work, and that the way that you talk, I don't believe that you really run accounts yourself. For that, yeah, I quoted you. Say it more times that he lost to believe it. Show me the video where you tried what I teach and it failed. I mean, I don't have to show a video when I'm seeing all the time ad accounts that they come to me to work for me, to work with me with one campaign strategy, and I'm scaling more. And no, dude, I'm not gonna go into the other accounts just doing only one campaign when I believe completely different things just to prove you wrong. I'm going to do the things that I see on other accounts that they are working. This argument, so Have you ever done it in 10 other accounts, for example, to know that it's not working? Have you seen, do you know if it's not going to work in all other accounts? These are arguments that nobody can answer 100%, for example, and tell you. This is why I believe that the argument here should be which one is better way, not necessarily which one is the only way. Show me the video and I have, by the way, I have a case study where I'm showing that he was doing one campaign strategy, and then I did multiple campaigns and it worked better. I see it on other accounts that I edit and take on. The one campaign strategy doesn't work at all, and many people say it also. If you see down your comments, you're going to see how many people they are mentioning that the one campaign strategy is not working. I have videos on my YouTube channel disproving it. Go check them to learn. Maybe we could go through one of your one campaign style setups and I would help you make it work better. Maybe I could help you, Charles, to understand how it is to work with multiple campaigns, okay? You're not the only one that you can teach someone over here. You have to understand that the way that you speak is a little bit annoying and insulting, okay? Let's help people, and if I fail, hey, you win. Let's do the same. I can help you work with multiple campaigns and teach you how it is because your method sucks. I don't use one campaign style setups. I change it when I see it and the account scale more, simple as that. Okay, cool. Do what works for you, man. That's good. Thank you. You do the same. I'm happy you're seeing success. I absolutely don't think there is one thing to do ways. Unlike Jordan, we can agree on that. Yeah, I believe that there are multiple ways of doing things. I believe that there is one or two or three other accounts that they can scale like this. And I believe that with multiple campaigns, these other accounts will scale more. But yes, there are accounts that they have scaled with one campaign. I'm sure of that. I have seen everything on the internet and especially on the ads manager. How else can I say it? I have never seen one account in my life, and I have been to many, that has one campaign doing and scale to these numbers. Take all the big brands from True Classic to Reach. I haven't seen a single one doing it without many ads. From these ones, yes, there's none, but I still believe that there could be one or two that they have done it. Okay, but again, I do believe that even if they are, they would have scaled more with multiple creatives. Okay, this is a bit of a cue to me. It's not one campaign for the whole account. It's one campaign per business objective. Yeah, we know that. You're not saying that. It's not one campaign, but still it's... we are talking about a lot of creatives. We are talking about as less creatives as possible. Let's keep it like this. Still the same. I have seen accounts of it. I'm familiar with all the theory. I still talk about finding many winners. You talk about finding the one and only best winner of each objective. One and only, expand to that. You want to find with the one campaign the best creative of all. I do believe that even creatives that don't take budget because of the dominant one can still have their own respective budget scaling more as long as they're different angles, personal styles, etc., etc. Interesting, because that's not actually my position. I totally agree with the non-dominant creatives have value, and in the debate I actually talked about how to identify the non-dominant that need to be replaced and how to do it. Also, here's a fun one, campaign screenshot. If you consider this a screenshot that I have to look and believe in, it says 80% of this came from focusing on creatives and one campaign, and he just shows a print screen. Let's go and check this guy because I checked him. And let's see this guy. He's running CBO cost caps, so running CBO cost caps, maybe it can work in a CBO if you have many and the cost caps are spending differently. I want to see though this guy over here. You're going to see that he's never posting an ad account picture, only this, and he's selling a mentorship or whatever he's selling. Okay, this was a rage bait post. Sorry guys, the only way to beat is to make better ads. Stop over complicating it. God bless. Made 40k yesterday. Comment Andromeda and I'll DM you exactly my playbook. All of that. No, dude, you didn't make. This is a revenue. You didn't make 40k. So I'm having the guess that this guy is a little bit of fake guru here, because of the things that he's posting is only images like this. And over here, he's posting 10 million stuff. Still doesn't say a lot. Maybe he has done 5 million, for example, only on Black Friday. I'm not seeing ad accounts here, and I'm seeing someone trying to sell something with showing only revenue. So this is a very big red flag. Be careful of that. How we're going to close? We are going to close today with something which is the messages that I exchanged with him. So messages. And we had also something else. Let me find it. Last thing before we see the messages that I exchanged with Charles. In this one, which we have analyzed earlier, we have this guy, because they wanted more drama, I guess, and go through another fight with Charles and all of that. He says here, that's not the spam. I know this guy. Maybe this came as a spam. I don't know. By the way, he's talking about my course, blah, blah. Thanks, man. The truth is that me and Charlie, we did Palm X with our convo the other day. One a good time too. And again, I like your videos. You absolutely lay out the way of doing things and in a way that helps a lot of people. That's great. De-escalation from Charlie, because we have to cool off a little bit. I think that he took a lot of hate on the internet. At the end of the day, guys, this is his character. I'm not against of the people that are going to go and talk to about the salad word and that he's using all of these terms, blah, blah, and all of these things. Because this is the truth that the people want to express about Charlie and how he explains things, or if he is not on the topic and he's talking about general things, or sometimes he's being a little bit cocky into his comments. He's doing all of this kind of stuff. This is his character. He can do his self-criticism. There is no point of attacking him for personal things. We are better than that. It's all about talking about Facebook ads and ideas. And yes, on a sense, he is having a right, because you cannot prove, which is the main problem of internet. You just do a YouTube channel, you can say whatever the fuck you want, and nobody can validate if it's true or wrong. This can be the same situation with me or someone else. Everybody can say anything, and at the end of the day, they can say, can you prove that it cannot work in an account? Okay, if you cannot, shut the fuck up. So we have the situation that you will have guys to be the last judge, and you will have to go and filter based on what you see, based on your ad accounts, based on your experiences, who you're going to listen. This is what's going to happen at the end of the day. Every other debate and stuff doesn't make any sense as long as we understand that what is working on the, what is working on our ad accounts is the most important thing. And these are the messages that I exchanged with him. Here I just want to say, minus all the CTC Mean Gear Club manufacturer drama. You help folks, I help folks. That's what this is all about. Let's keep it up. Nothing personal, Charles. We disagree about ads, nothing more. As you say, we can prove that this is better 100%, so we share what we see on accounts. Simple as that. My personal opinion, without being able to prove it or anything, is that you are consulting more and you don't manage several accounts. And that's okay, because believe me, this is a pain in the ass to manage 30 accounts, plus sales calls, plus content, plus family, plus everything. This makes you lose a bit of the reality on the day-to-day basis of the ad accounts and what we see. That's my major disagreement with you, because you are right. I can prove that single CBO or however we call it can work in any account. I have seen everything working and everything failing. Have a nice day, keep it up. Even on my channel, I never make it personal. We only debate on ideas, not on hairstyle nails, as people like to attack you for. We all love Facebook ads. We are passionate about it, and that's all. And this is how I want to keep it also on the comment, guys. Attack Charlie for his ideas about Facebook ads. He's grown enough and he can defend himself. Don't attack him for other stuff or for his past. And there's one more thing before we close that I want to show, because we mentioned also the thing about the the thing about the big spends, just a second. So a little bit more because I lost of all that. I'm on your side. We're the same team. We're helping people by sharing our experience. We don't give it away with enthusiasm. Let's do more of that rather than giving a negative person who shared nothing more attention. I don't give the negative person concept here. I have every right to say that you preach that what you preach doesn't work for me and many other accounts that I manage and many of my freelancer friends and students. This is not a personal attack to you. It is an attack to the one campaign strategy. I have never said you were negative. I'm saying the person who opened the debate by coming after me rather than making an argument. Don't make it personal. Don't make yourself a victim just to look better. You have harassed people on the internet, Charles, over the years. Don't try to be the victim now. Who then interrupted me after insulting my integrity during the debate? That person is negative. You can absolutely say that what I did doesn't work for you. That's 100% fine. That I actually be very curious to know why, so I can do better. I doubt that, Charlie. You already have your own opinions and you're not going to change about it. Then we say, don't take it personal. It's a debate about Facebook ads. We just mentioned that you're saying a bunch of general stuff and we want to see at least one account doing it sustainable for a year to believe you. We have accounts to show the opposite to your ways. That's all we say. By the way, since we're talking about it, 200k spent yesterday, 1.97. None of you has shown ROAS, by the way. And what happened over there? Last 30 days over here, 1.74, 4 million. So yes, I do also have access to this kind of ad accounts. And this is a proof, if you wanna have a proof. So show me one ad account that you manage that you're doing this and show us what you're doing, because I have shown things like that. Oh, and because I forgot, as you can see, I have many campaigns running here. And I'm working with average results, which is what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm testing a lot also here, okay? So, don't look at this, because over here, from time to time, because this is a 8 years account, we are deleting stuff because it won't be able to load after some point. Anyway, so this is only last 30 days in here and we're working with multiple campaigns. So yeah, my ways are also working and I guess Jordan is on the same page for this thing. Let's continue. And he says, and I have that evidence, some folks, and all you had to do is this. What I have done here, showing this, all you had to do is this. And then it would be completely different. And I have that evidence, some folks didn't feel comfortable with me sharing your evidence, not from other people. Multiple folks offered their evidence to use if we want to have the follow-up that he offered. I might even be able to share them if he doesn't, because so many were so floored by his performance. As we is the people we believe in running many ads from different angles, working with different average results, watching for cannibalization and so many more. It is not just many ads, it is a lot more than that. And let's go to the last part. And the last part is the brands that we are going to have. This is why you ask for other people's screenshots that we have seen earlier. Jordan showed someone else. We have seen that. And now for your info after the debate, I will also send screenshots to Jordan proving his point. What are you trying to do? Prove that the debate was wrong and you got attacked. You lost, man. Don't try to make this thing about you. The one campaign post strategy doesn't work. Move on. His point isn't proven by you supporting a claim he couldn't make. He needed to prove the other way was impossible. Did he do that? No, he didn't do it. Okay, next time he will give you the video that they tell you and all of that. We read that. I didn't even say they could. I just asked if he proved that was why. It was a pretty straightforward question. It was the premise of the debate. I've repeated it a few times. I'm curious as to why you can give me a simple yes or no. Did he prove that the reason they scale to 100 per day in Spanish, I don't know what's this, is because they run more ads? No, because it can be proven with a screenshot alone. Did you prove yours? Yes or no? What are you trying to say? That the whole debate was wrong? Did you still believe that the only way is with a single ads or a handful of ads? Yes or no? Great, so we both agree. Of course, he's not going to answer any of my things and he's going to go to his point that he won't blah, blah, blah. The premise is blah, blah. here is the thing that I want to say before we close. I spent 1 million a day without revenue target at all. No, dude, he didn't lose, and you are not on the same page. We're not on the same page just because you are saying it many times to believe it. And no, you haven't run 1 million per day accounts. What is the next thing? 1 billion per day accounts. How much will you say next time? My man, you said he didn't prove more ads is why they scaled. If he didn't prove that, he surely didn't prove blah blah. That's a bit fuck hell. Okay, Charles, you can say that you won, say whatever. I can show you the tweet, and yes, I have spent 1 million a day for a single account, and I'm not even close to being the only one. There's a very big world outside of DTC Twitter. First of all, did you spend it for engagement? Because I have now friends that they have agencies here in Greece that they spend for Mercedes, Logitech and stuff, for Europe and all of that, all of this money, but it's not necessarily for sales. Here we're talking about sales. We don't talk about engagement ads. Of course, the company spent this amount of money. When in 2022, 20, 25, 24, anything? This is the Toyota thing, or whichever brand the agency you worked for was spending, because he's mentioning these numbers that he has spent, but a lot of times he talks about working back in the day on an agency, spending on Toyota. I don't know which car brand, one of these. This wasn't your client. What do you have now? Do you have anything to show now? So now the goalpost moved from you never did it to that wasn't recent, it wasn't your client. I never made the claim it was recent, and yes, I was working at an agency. I was supervisor at Omnicom Resolution Media. No gatekeeping, no excuses, no secrets, no bullshit. So this wasn't your client, Charles. You can't say I spent 1 million per day. Thank you for being honest about it. It could have happened to all of us to work for Mercedes on an agency back in the day. We can't take credit for that. The agency can. And this is the truth. You didn't close the client. It was a client closed by the agency. You were just there an employee. So you cannot say, you can say that I have been part of this account. I have seen this account. You cannot say that I have spent this money for this company, because it's as if as you are implying that you closed the client, you got paid and all of that. No, you were an employee. Even if you are the head of the team, you're not the one that you can say that you have spent 1 million per day. Also in these companies, they are not doing ads for sales. And we're talking for sales here. We're not talking about running ads for Coca-Cola for engagement or awareness. It's completely different. Huge podcast. I'm not gonna make it paid part. It's gonna be free for everyone to see the reaction to that, because I wanted to say a lot of things about it and about what happened and all of the things. And I will see you guys on the next one, which is going to be a normal one, because this one was actually exhausting. Bye. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.